Amy, another invitation. We're back on the Facebook and on the YouTube streaming. We got severe weather breaking out. The severe thunderstorm warnings have both expired, both of the ones that were due to expire, covering most of Geneva, Houston, Holmes counties, portions of Coffee and Dale County. I did just reinvite Amy. Hey, Tracy, good to be with you this afternoon. Hi, Kelly. Thanks for joining us. We do have severe weather, and that's why we are still here. We've been at this since 6 o'clock this morning, telling you about the weather as it arrived and then as it moves through, and we are not done with this yet. Tracy and Kelly, if you're just joining us, Donald, good to see you. Hey, Savannah. We are under a tornado watch for all of our listening area until 4 o'clock this afternoon. There's Amy. We're going to join Amy. There's me. We're just welcoming some new listeners or new watchers, I think, to the stream. The Florida-Alabama line, bad weather, Tracy's. That's the name of the game all day long. We've got another set of storms leaping out of the Pensacola area that Amy's keeping a watch on, Tracy. So I don't know where you are along that Florida-Alabama line, but Amy's probably got some stories to tell you about what's on the way.
Okay, so what's happened most recently over the last few minutes, that tornado, that severe thunderstorm warning has dropped for Santa Rosa County. So we'll see what comes up next out of that area. It's definitely moved out of that area, but next up will be Okaloosa County and some really, really intense storms located in Pensacola right now.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these storms in Pensacola should be approaching West Pensacola or just move through that area. We're looking at Ferry Pass right now, Bohemia 217, and Gabaron me. I
Hey,
guess
Adriana.
those storms passing through Pensacola right now. Here we go. Newest severe thunderstorm warning just issued for Santa Rosa County. Not surprising. This is going to be in effect until 3 p.m., so about 55 minutes remaining there. A severe thunderstorm located 4 miles northeast of Oriole Beach or 8 miles northeast of Gulf Breeze,
We're
moving
about to
east
get one too, Amy.
at 60 miles per hour. We've got 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail associated with these storms. Areas located and impacted would be Pace, Milton, Gulf Breeze, Baghdad, Navarre, Roseville, Florida Town, and Point Baker. So if you're in any of these areas, you need to be weather aware and probably getting to your safe place, because these, I've been saying for the last 45 minutes that these have the same intensity that the storms that moved through first of all this morning had, triggered several tornado warnings. This line of thunderstorms has that same intensity.
This is in too, and this is before my radar even popped it. But we're about to get a severe thunderstorm warning for Jackson County, Florida, Houston County, Alabama, Early County, Georgia, Seminole County, Georgia. It's already started, and it won't expire till 2:45. Hasn't even popped on my radar yet. But look at that W2 that just popped up by Mariana. Is why that one. You see that right there, Amy? In Jackson County by Mariana, Florida, W2.
Got it.
Yeah, I think that's what's starting to rear its ugly head. Look, Dothan's about to get hammer time with some rain and lightning. Geneva is absolutely in the middle of it right now.
Once again, guys, what I was saying earlier is what we've seen is these storms start off west of us and really look nasty, but then as they move through the Wiregrass area, they lose some intensity, but then they start gathering together and organizing again once they get like into Houston County, Jackson County, Florida, up into Henry County. And then when they move into Georgia, they are way more intense than they were moving through our area. So Georgia listeners need to be really prepared and on guard for some of these storms that are going to be moving into their area once again.
I'm gonna let our streamers see an updated radar image of what we're looking at right now. I'll throw some filters on there so you can see what's going on.
We probably need to go ahead and go in. Here we are with our severe thunderstorm warning, Dave.
Okay. Anyway, if our streamers will look on their screen, you can see the storm activity. And as you look at the uh, left hand side of your screen, that's what Amy's been talking about coming out of Pensacola. Now, this severe thunderstorm warning is all this right here. And if you look at all this hookiness right there, that's what's going to trigger a warning like that. All these little bumps and crevices in the storm. See if it's smooth, it's just seems to be a little bit better. But when you get all these hooks and bumps and stuff, that's when that hot air and that cold air starts mixing together and starts triggering those severe thunderstorm warnings. All right, you ready to do this?
Sure. Thank y'all for sharing and tagging, friends. This is our second stream. We were on for 8 hours.
B1053, it's Pollard and Dave in the afternoon. We've been at this since 6 o'clock this morning, and we were just issued another severe thunderstorm warning, and we wanted to tell you about it. This severe thunderstorm warning was issued by the National Weather Service in Tallahassee for southeastern Houston County, western Jackson County, northeastern Washington County, southwestern Early County, and northwestern Seminole County. There in southwestern Georgia. At 3:15, a severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from Cottonwood to 7 miles southwest of Chipley, moving east at about 40 miles an hour. Reports of 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, penny-sized hail. This is radar-indicated storm activity, folks, and you can expect damage to roofs, sidings, and trees. Some of the locations, wow. Wow. Wow, that shook the building right there, that lightning. Okay, locations impacted include Cottonwood, Chipley, Marianna, Malone, Cottondale, Greenwood, Alford, Madrid, Campbellton, Jakin, Bascom, Richter Crossroads, Crosby, Grangerburg, Blue Spring, Jacobs, Bahoma, Ellaville, Marianna Municipal Airport, and Brock Crossroads. Okay, remember now, tornado watch does remain in effect until 4 o'clock for southeastern Alabama and the panhandle of Florida. Okay, it remains in effect until 5 o'clock Eastern time for southwestern Georgia. Right now, for your protection, it's be a good idea to move into an interior room or the lowest floor of a building. We're talking about hail size anywhere from half an inch. They're reporting penny-size hail, but there are also chances of hail in this particular storm to be up to 3/4 of an inch in size. That is a big old chunk of ice falling out of the sky. You with me, Amy? You still there?
I am.
Okay, just want to make sure you were still with us here. We're covering this storm. We're under a tornado watch, as I said, until 4 o'clock for the majority of our listening area. Further to the west, that will expire at about 3, and further to the east, about an hour after our tornado watch expires. Amy's been following a series of storms emerging from the Pensacola area, moving eastward at a pretty steady clip, and we're expecting a lot more watches and warnings to develop from those storms, Amy.
I want to say thank you for some information that we're getting from Jennifer right now. Jennifer is saying that a tornado went through at Highway 79 in Esto. I did get reports earlier about a actual tornado that went through the Bonifay area, so I'm thinking that that's probably the same one. We do have some areas that were affected by a tornado or either straight line winds that were in excess of 60 to 65 miles per hour, which can a lot of times be just as damaging because they are straight line. They're very destructive. And, but nonetheless, I did get a message from Sheriff Valenza, and he asked me to pass along to the people. We do have many trees down. We've got lots of personnel, emergency workers out on location and sites trying to get some areas cleaned up where there has been damage. I do know there was some damage in the Wicksburg area earlier, more than likely from straight line winds as well. We need you to, and he has asked to please stay at home. Don't go out sightseeing. What I'm seeing right now on the radar down in Santa Rosa County is not going to be pleasant. It's the second line of storms that's going to be passing through our area, looking much like the first line of thunderstorms that moved through. Very intense, could produce a tornado at any given time. So the last thing that you need to be doing is out sightseeing because it is not safe to do so. That's me putting it bluntly and as nicely as I can. It's just not smart to be doing that right now with another line of thunderstorms coming. And let's talk about some of this these thunderstorms that we are talking about down in Santa Rosa. They have issued a severe thunderstorm warning that's going to be in effect until 3 o'clock for our friends in Santa Rosa County. And let me get my glasses on. That's of course, northwestern Florida. It was 8 miles northeast of Gulf Breeze. And I know that sounds like it's a long way away for y'all, but what we believe in is going ahead and letting you know where these thunderstorms are located now, because it gives you ample time to react and to get to your safe place. We don't want you waiting until tornado sirens sound before you decide to make a move or get to safety. That would be what you would need to be doing now. So we tell you about where it's located down around Orange Beach and some of those areas, moving to the east, of course, and will be affecting our listeners and viewers in Covington County and Okaloosa County here shortly. Um, from that point, we're looking at Geneva County and also our friends in Coffee County. If you're in Florida, Walton County, more than likely you're going to be experiencing some of this particular line of thunderstorms. And listen, we still have more of it out in the Gulf south of Pensacola that hasn't even come ashore yet. And what's happening is those are converging and turning quite a bit more intense than what they are showing on the radar now, which kind of, makes us stay on guard and keep an eye on these things so that we can let you know what's going on, way more intense than what we're currently dealing with moving through Houston County at the moment, as a matter of fact.
That's right. And as a matter of fact, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Houston County, also south or western Jackson County, northeastern Washington County, southwestern Early County, and northwestern Seminole County. That is due to expire at about 2:45 this afternoon. We're watching a couple of cells in that area. Let's see here. Storm cell Y0. It's moving at about 59 miles an hour, not really dropping some hail here. And at 2:26, it's at Gordon Landing, heading toward Liberty into Cedar Springs, then Howard's Mill, Killarney, Jones Crossroads, and Mayhaw as it crosses into Georgia. Storm cell A3 that originated just outside of the warned area in Houston County at 2:26 this afternoon is leaving Keaton's, heading into Cottonwood. Will be in Sealy Springs in the next minute or two, then Avon by 2:32 and Ashford by 2:34. Now, this storm is moving at about 56 miles an hour, and it has a 60% chance of producing half-inch sized hail. Just to the north and west of Webb, a storm originated, and it's cooking along at about 71 miles an hour. At least the gusts are. No real hail associated with this storm, and it is not in the warned area, but it does have some very gusty winds. And I want to tell the folks in the path of this storm to be ready. In Haleburg, who got a lot of damage on this last line of storms that came through this past Sunday, it's going to be there at about 2:31 this afternoon, then in Urquhart by 2:38, and as it crosses into Georgia, into Blakely by 2:39 this afternoon. Currently under tornado watch until 4 o'clock. Go ahead.
What we've got is a lot of our live streamers on Facebook letting us know pouring in Graceville, terrible in Chipley, coming down in Webb right now, downpour in Cottonwood. Yes, you guys are definitely feeling some of the effects of what's moving through.
That's the strongest part of the storm right now, actually.
Of this line of storms.
Mm-hmm. That's the strongest line, yeah.
The additional storms that are going to be moving through are located in Santa Rosa County and portions of Okaloosa County right now. I want to talk about a particular line of thunderstorms located right on top of Crestview right now. So if you're in Crestview, you're feeling this 60% chance of probability with hail of half-inch size. Let's talk about 2:28. We're approaching Crestview by 2:30. It should be in that area. We're going to look at Auburn at 2:37, Campton at 2:44, and Peden at 2:45. If you're in the path of this particular line of thunderstorms, you should be in your safe place. Also, let me go ahead and forewarn the folks, Florala, Sampson, you need to be preparing for this line of thunderstorms as well. I've said all along, Sampson, Geneva, Coffee County, over Enterprise. I want all of you guys preparing right now for this line of thunderstorms. Pretty intense on the radar. No tornadic activity associated with it, but conditions are still favorable. Dave was talking earlier about the difference in temperatures from the first line of thunderstorms that moved through to where we are right now, which is what's giving most of the atmosphere the instability.
Mhm.
And as that continues to move through, we want you to be prepared and make sure that you're in your safe place, not waiting until the storms are right upon you to make a move.
Amy, I want to talk about storm cell Y6 there, just to the east of Graceville, where you were just talking about the most intense part of this
Mhm.
particular storm. It's storm cell Y7 here at 229. It's right at State Line Road. And we had one of our viewers asking about State Line. That storm is headed your way. It is some kind of intense, no real hail associated with this, but gusty winds up to 74 miles an hour. It'll be in Cottonwood by 2:34 this afternoon, then in Dupree at 2:39, Avon and Ashford right there at about 20 till the top of the hour, which is when this severe thunderstorm warning is set to expire. But Amy, if things are following the way they've been following all day, that severe thunderstorm warning is merely going to shift to
Right.
the east. So we're going to be breaking in with our sister station, WBBK in Blakely and Dothan here in just a little bit to tell them about some severe storms coming their way. But Amy, I think the big message that you're delivering this hour is that we got more storms throughout the afternoon, possibly into this evening. There's a great big line of storms emerging out of Pensacola, moving right through Santa Rosa into Okaloosa County. We're going to stay on top of that. Tornado watch right now until 4 o'clock this afternoon. They have not extended that tornado watch, Amy, interestingly enough, closer to where those storms are. We'll see if that changes in the
Well,
next
we're
few
already
minutes or
looking at
so.
5 p.m. Eastern time for the Georgia listeners.
Mm-hmm.
You could very well see that extended depending on how fast or slow these storms do decide to move. We've seen a fluctuation in the actual speed of the storms. I just looked at one that is in Houston County right now in the Warrened area. It's moving 74 miles per
Mm-hmm.
hour. We've had them as slow as 28 miles per hour today. So there's variation in when this is going to get where, and we're needing you to be patient with us. I do want to say thank you to everybody that is tuning in on Facebook and commenting. Mary says that y'all do more through weather reporting than the Weather Channel does. Thank you so much, and please have a blessed, safe day. Saying it's still pouring on Halls Mill Road off of Trawick Road, and she's just saying it's incredible the amount of rain that they've received there. Also, Carl says, I'll say this, if y'all ever get done with radio, I know a few Weather Channel people that y'all could replace.
It pays about
Listen,
as good. I think I'm good right here.
listen, I'll say this. It's definitely a passion. We have been sitting in these chairs for over almost 8.5 hours today without getting up to, take breaks, because that's what this is about. We do believe that awareness and being prepared and knowledge is key and saves lives. There's no doubt in my mind. We've been doing this a long time, almost 20 years, and knowing where the storms are and being prepared long before they get there. I know you think it's crazy to say, hey, what's going on over in Orange Beach right now? But the reason we're telling you that is because as these storms move east, we want you to be prepared long before it gets there. So knowledge is key in these situations.
Amy, there's a storm cell moving through the Ashford area right about now, moving at about 60 miles an hour, 70% chance of half-inch size hail falling out of the sky. Of course, that's Ashford and Pansy, heading towards Ardilla and Gordon by 2:41 this afternoon. Then it'll be in Alaga and Gordon Landing right after that. So this storm's moving pretty quickly, and it's dropping heavy rain, and hailstones is definitely a possibility. Be careful. And I see where Okaloosa County just got their severe thunderstorm warning, Amy, until 3:15 this afternoon. These are the storms that Amy's been watching move out of the Pensacola area. We'll be back in just a few. We're under a tornado watch until 4 o'clock this afternoon, and a severe thunderstorm warning for our immediate listening area till about 2:45. It's Pollard and Dave.
Let's go ahead, Dave, and I'm assuming you're getting the commercial break out of the way.
Yeah.
And then let's go ahead and give the locations for this newest severe thunderstorm warning. Guys, it's going to be affecting. This is the storm I was talking about in Crestview. What, about 10 minutes ago? It's going to be affecting Florala, Sampson. This is pretty much the same playbook from this morning. So if you're in those areas, we want you to go ahead and be getting prepared for sure. for our Facebook Live people and our YouTube Live folks. We're talking Destin, Crestview, Niceville, Eglin Air Force Base, Ocean City, Navarre, Shalimar, Cinco Bayou, and Fort Walton Beach right now have been included in these warnings. So it's a pretty intense line of thunderstorms moving through, but it definitely will affect more than just the Florida Panhandle, guys.
I know it's not power out here locally. My son has told me there was a transformer blown by our house, and we live inside the circle. So definitely power lines and trees are going to be the main victims of this storm, especially if you guys are paying attention and hunkering down yourselves. The very worst is going to be structural damage and maybe power out. So I think it's important to stay ahead of these things so we don't have any loss of life unnecessarily so. Count our blessings.
Well, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
We can do the power outages are.
Yeah, that's easy.
We can take care of that.
Yeah.
It's people that might be in mobile homes or structures that aren't sturdy that we worry about.
That's right. So I got a bunch of commercials. I want to go ahead and get them out of the way so that we can go back in and hit this thing pretty hard. So it's going to be another couple, 3
Hey, y'all let us know where you are. Thank you so much for the compliments. Y'all are really, really sweet. It makes it worthwhile. I mean, I know I've seen some of y'all on here that have been on with us since 6 o'clock this morning. I mean, or in and out at least with us, because we've been on for almost 8.5 hours. And
we learned too that our stream will only last for 8 hours. We have to restart it again.
Yeah. I guess it cuts you off after you've been on live for 8 hours. So
it's like Netflix. I guess they want to know if you're still watching.
Yeah, something like that. So y'all please go in and share this live stream.
Amy, while we're in this commercial break, let's put up this map and you can describe to folks what you see on the map and where everything's headed.
So basically right now I don't have a pointer.
I can point. You tell me where to point.
The line of thunderstorms, guys, that I'm watching and keeping an eye on are where we have actual 2 severe thunderstorm warnings right now. The latest issued extending from 11 miles southeast of Jay to southeast of Rowville, 18 miles southeast of Pensacola Beach. So, Dave, that's that line of thunderstorms right on the Gulf.
Yep. Here's Pensacola right here, and there's Crestview right there, and this is the one that Amy's watching right now.
And it is, we've got 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail associated with that particular storm. That's going to affect our listeners and viewers in Defuniak Springs, Walton County. I'm talking about Holmes County, and more than likely some parts of Geneva County.
So
before it's it's almost moving due east. Right.
And right now, this thunderstorm warning that's affecting our immediate area, the one that I was just talking about, is all right in this area, just to the east of Dothan, moving on into Georgia. As a matter of fact, if that severe thunderstorm watch gets extended, I'm going to break in on our sister station and let our
the warning is actually in effect to 2:45 Central Time, so about 10, 12 more minutes.
12 more minutes. We'll decide then if I need to break in on our sister station over there in Georgia. Let them know what's going on.
For sure.
It does
and that's
seem
because
yeah, go ahead.
That's because we have a station that's based in Georgia, and so we need to make sure that the Georgia listeners are fully aware of what's going on as well.
There's the wide shot. And you see, Amy was talking earlier about all that moisture still in the Gulf. Well, that's what she's talking about right there. And all that is just getting fed, right? And if I could set this in motion, you'll see how that's just feeding up into there, because we've got this cold air mass pushing this way, and we got this warm, moist air down here. And it's where they're meeting is where we're getting all this crazy weather.
April saying she has lived in Webb almost a year, and this is the biggest downpour she has ever seen.
Yep.
Then Becca has been on with us since what, 7 o'clock this morning?
Yep.
She says it's causing her major anxiety. Yeah, it's causing my butt to hurt. I've been sitting in one place for 8.5 hours.
Well, I ain't rubbing it.
And now my tail hurts. Thank you, Trish. We appreciate you being here. I know you've been here with us most of the morning as well. So we want to make sure that we are covering the Houston County area. I've got actually it's going to be moving in Geneva County right now. I've got a line of thunderstorms, y'all, that I'm watching. 80% probability of hail with this cell line that's moving through. It's going to be right now at 2:40. We're approaching Smith Crossroads. Should be there around 2:42. Miller Crossroads at 2:43. Unola at 2:44. Thurston and Black around 2:45. Then Landingham Mill at 2:47 and High Note at 2:48. So that's going to be affecting some folks in Geneva County. Probability of hail with that 80%. So y'all make sure that if you're there, that you are weather aware of this cell that's going to be moving through your area shortly.
I got to turn off the lightning.
Yeah, I had to do that this morning. I can't see everything when all the lightning's there as well.
I've been trying to write it out because it's weird. Not every cell in this day has been lightning intense, but some cells are lightning intense. It's weird, and that has a lot to do with the surrounding temperatures and the energy that the storm is putting out. It's kind of interesting, but not a good day for science. Yeah, Lori, this weather, right?
Yeah, y'all listen. In Geneva County, I want y'all really paying attention because this cell should be right now around Van Landingham Mill. I just gave you these times, but in 4 minutes, it'll be in Hartford.
Yep.
In 7 minutes, it's going to be in Slocum. It's going to be Bald Hill at 2:49, Malvern at 2:52, and Wicksburg 2:52. So we've got about 10 or 11 minutes here in the Wicksburg area, and it is still very calm in Wicksburg. But this is a 71 mile per hour. It's a cell. It's moving 71 miles per hour. 80% chance of hail with it, half-inch size on the hail. So once again, the times on this at 2:42, we're approaching or just made it through Van Landingham Mill, Hartford at 2:45, Slocum 2:48, Bald Hill 2:49, Melbourne and Wicksburg 2:52, and Backward Crossroads 2:53, Parker Village at 2:55. So y'all be aware if you're in these areas, this storm's about to be passing through.
All right, so the severe thunderstorm warning was just dropped for our immediate area, so I'm not going to break in on WBBK just yet.
Okay. I've got
but
Dave.
I bet you they're about to drop another one.
I just got a notification for my area. So the storm that I was just pointing out, I'm going to stay on this because I just got a notification approaching my location. So here's what we're looking at. 71 mile per hour moving through the cell, 80% probability of hail. It is in Geneva County at the moment. We should be approaching Hartford in 2 minutes. At 2:48, we'll be in Slocum, Bald Hill 2:49, Malvern and Wicksburg at 2:52, and Parker Village and Backward Crossroads 2:53 to 2:55. Okay, so I want you guys aware. So here we go.
With severe thunderstorm warnings about to drop. Hang on.
That it did drop.
Did it?
The one that was moving into the Georgia area, Seminole County and Early County, that dropped.
B1053, it's Pollard and Dave in the afternoon. I'm about to start sharing with our sister station, WBBK in Blakely, Georgia. The National Weather Service has just issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Jackson County, Florida, Miller County, Georgia, Houston County, Alabama, Baker County, Early County, and Seminole counties in Georgia, including Decatur County, Georgia, beginning at 2:42 and ending 1 hour from now at 3:42. This afternoon, I'm seeing a couple of the cells that are going to be in that warned area as soon as they pop up. Both of these storms have a great probability of half-inch sized hail and winds gusting up to 74 miles an hour. As a matter of fact, at 2:44, Gordon is feeling the effects of that particular storm, and it will be in Liberty at 2:47, then in Cedar Springs at 2:49, Killarney at 2:51. Amy, I'm also seeing H2, which really hasn't fully developed on my radar yet, but it has already got an 80% probability of half-inch sized hail. We haven't got a measure of the gusty winds yet. And then there's a storm that originated just north of Chipley, moving very much northeast. And at 2:45 this afternoon, it's going to be in Glass, heading toward Jacob City and Jacobs at 2:49, Campbellton by 2:51, then into Rambo and State Line at 2:54, ending up at Garrett's Crossroads right at the top of the hour. Now, that is the severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued by the National Weather Service, and it is going to be, once again, for Jackson County, Florida, Seminole County, Georgia, Decatur County, Georgia, and it starts at 2:45, ends at 8:45. That's a tornado watch that just got initiated.
We said it would probably be
tornado watch for Jackson County, Florida, Seminole County, Georgia, Decatur County, Georgia. Starts at 2:45, ends at 8:45 this evening, Amy. That is a reflection of the storms you've been talking about there in Santa Rosa County that have been brewing. That's why they've extended this tornado watch in those Florida counties until 8:45 this evening.
Okay, I also want to make mention of a line of thunderstorms actually in Geneva County at the moment. 2:46, we should be approaching, it should be in Dundee at this moment, approaching Slocum at 2:48, Bald Hill 2:49, Malvern 2:52, Wicksburg 2:52, Backham's Crossroads and Parker Village at 2:53 and 2:55. If you are in the path of this storm, you should actually be weather aware. We've got 80% probability of hail associated with this particular cell that's moving through the area. And also drawing our attention, some of this that we've been talking about for the last pretty much hour, guys, we've been talking about in Okaloosa County, moving into Walton County. It will be affecting our friends in Geneva County before too long, and also Covington County. Portions of Covington County will most indefinitely be affected by this. And then we foresee maybe even portions of Coffee County. Some of my storm paths that I'm showing for future direction does include Coffee County. So we've been telling you folks to get ready for a while with these storms in Santa Rosa County. We are still under a tornado watch. So if you are anywhere, Walton County, Geneva County, portions of Covington and Coffee County, we want you to go ahead and be getting in your place of safety because, conditions are still favorable for that tornadic activity. And we don't want you waiting until an actual tornado presents itself. We want you ready and fully aware before that happens.
I want to let the folks in Georgia know that the tornado watch has been extended for our Georgia listeners on WBBK in Blakely. That tornado watch has been extended until 9 o'clock this evening. That is a tornado watch for most of our Georgia listeners until 9 o'clock. We're currently under a tornado watch west of Georgia until 4 o'clock this afternoon. And, of course, a severe thunderstorm warning issued by the National Weather Service in Tallahassee for these following counties: southeastern Houston County, Jackson County in the Panhandle, northeastern Calhoun County, northern Liberty County, east central Washington County, Decatur County, northwestern Grady County, Miller County, southern Mitchell County, southwestern Baker County, southern Early County, and Seminole County, all under a severe thunderstorm warning until 3:30 Central Daylight Time this afternoon. 4:30, of course, over there in the Eastern time zone. A couple of storm cells that we're particularly paying attention to. Y6 moving at about 70 or 67 miles an hour. No real chance of hail on this, but here at 2:49, it is just leaving Saffold, headed towards Cedar Springs at 2:51, Killarney at 2:53. It'll be at Jones Crossroads at 2:54, Mayhaw at 2:57, and Lucille at 2:58. That's for our Georgia listeners. There's also a storm cell A3, Amy. That thing has been cooking along all afternoon. It's got a 40% chance of half-inch size hail. It's got gusts of 71 miles an hour. It's going to be, its next stop is at Damascus as it leaves Hentown right now, heading towards Damascus by 2:55, Douglas Crossroads at 2:57, Rowena right after that, Crestview in Georgia at 3 o'clock, then Bethany and Commissary Hill at 3:02. Now, those are all in the severe thunderstorm warned areas. Those are those two particular cells from that warned area moving into the Georgia portion of our listening area, and that severe thunderstorm warning set to expire by 3:30 this afternoon. However, because of the storms that Amy's been talking about in Florida, most specifically in Okaloosa County right now, those are moving east, and that has extended your tornado watch until 9 o'clock this afternoon, including, it's pretty much west of the river, Amy. Everything west of the river is set to expire at about 4 o'clock this afternoon. Everything east of the river has been extended until 9 o'clock, including portions of Calhoun County, your fishing hole there in Weewa, and Franklin County, Liberty County, Gadsden, and Wakulla counties there in the panhandle of Florida.
Okay, so I am seeing some intensity starting to, it look interesting or pretty impressive on the radar in Okaloosa County. A particular line that I'm watching is located right now, with it being 51 after the hour, around Gallagher. So if you're in the Gallagher area in Okaloosa County, you're probably feeling the effects of this. Next up is going to be Baker at 2:58, Milligan 2:58, Crestview at 3:02, Auburn 3:07, Killingsworth Crossroads at 3:09, Campton 3:11, Deerland at 3:11, and Dorcas at 3:14. If you're in the path of these storms, it's starting to look a little more impressive on the radar. You are already in a severe thunderstorm warned area. And let's see, we just had a new thunderstorm warning issued. Let's take a look at this. Yes, we did. National Weather Service in Tallahassee just issued a severe thunderstorm warning for northwestern Bay County in the Panhandle, Walton County, Holmes County, and Western Washington County. This is the line of thunderstorms that we were preparing you folks for, that I've said eventually could affect Geneva County as well. We're getting this warning now from the National Weather Service. They indicated on the radar a line of thunderstorms extending near Laurel Hill to near Mary Esther, moving east at about 50 miles per hour. We've got wind gusts pretty much all day long that have been 60 miles per hour and $half size hail with this storm. This is the storm that I'm talking about is starting to look a little more impressive on the radar. Remember, hail damage to vehicles is expected. If you can get your vehicles moved indoors, we've already seen some pictures today sent to us of windshields and cars that were just absolutely demolished today with this $half size hail. It doesn't take a really big, chunk of hail to do some major damage to your car and your windshield. Now, locations that are going to be impacted by this severe thunderstorm warning include Vernon, Santa Rosa Beach, the Funiac Springs, Bonifay, Eglin Air Force Base, Union, Liberty, Live Oak, Freeport, Paxton, Ponce de Leon, Caryville, Esto, Westville, Ebro, Noma, Whitehead Crossroads, and Villa Tasso. So if you're in any of these areas that we've just mentioned, you are in the path of this storm that has triggered the National Weather Service to issue a severe thunderstorm warning. We want you to be taking cover right now. Radar indicated, and that's going to be in effect until 3:30. So 37 minutes remaining on this severe thunderstorm warning just issued.
Amy, we're still looking at that severe thunderstorm warning issued by the Tallahassee National Weather Service affecting our listeners in Georgia specifically. I'm just going to list all the counties that this is affecting. Southeastern Houston, Jackson County in the Panhandle, northeastern Calhoun County, Liberty County in the Big Bend there, east central Washington, and then into Georgia, Decatur, northwestern Grady, Miller County, Mitchell County, southeastern Baker, southern Early County, and Seminole County, all under a severe thunderstorm warning until 3:30. We got 3 or 4 cells that we're keeping an eye on. As a matter of fact, one crossing over into Georgia, let's just say it is 2:54 right now. It is going to be at Neal's Landing and then into Jakin, Georgia by 3 o'clock this afternoon, cruising on into Riverton, Little Hope, and Killarney by 3:05 this afternoon, then Town and Country Estates and Subdivision at 6 minutes after the top of the hour. Closer to Gordon, which Y6 rather, this storm is moving at 67 miles an hour, and it is going to be at Cedar Springs. Well, it's leaving Cedar Springs and heading into Jones Crossroads right now, being Mayhaw in the next couple of minutes, then into Lucille. I've just had an update on my storm tracker, Amy, and storm cell H2 also affecting our Georgia listeners. It is going to be in Lucy in the next couple of minutes, then Alaga right at the top of the hour as it moves into Saffold, into Jakin at 3:02, then in Killarney by 3:07, Town and Country Subdivision by 3:08, then into Donaldsonville, Amy, by 9 minutes after the top of the hour. And this storm, as I said, moving at about 47 miles an hour, and it's got a 60% chance of half-inch sized hail associated with it. Closer to Colquitt, another storm, just got to get this out for our Georgia listeners, Amy. Colquitt, Georgia is going to be feeling a storm, also producing half-inch size hail, also gusting at about 71 in Colquitt in the next 4 minutes. Jeterville right after the top of the hour, then in Damascus at 3:04 Central Time this afternoon, moving into Crestview, Georgia at 3:09. This is all in that severe thunderstorm warned area that's due to expire at 3:30 this afternoon. Of course, everybody listening to us on the radio and streaming, we are under a tornado watch until the very earliest at 4 o'clock and at the very latest 9 o'clock. As a matter of fact, Geneva County is now included in that tornado watch area that's going to be under a watch until 9 o'clock this evening.
Now for Georgia listeners, we're going to be looking at 10 p.m. Eastern time, and that's going to include in South Central Georgia, Brooks, Lowndes, and Thomas counties, and in Southwest Georgia, Decatur, Grady, and Seminole County. And that's going to be 10 p.m. Eastern time for your tornado watch. So we definitely want to make sure that you guys are, and basically that's everything that is going to be moving through out of Okaloosa County. Currently, right now, we were talking about some of the places and some of our listeners in Geneva County being prepared for some of this moving in. I want to talk about a particular thunderstorm moving at about 36 miles per hour, but it does have 80% chance of half-inch size hail associated with it. It should be approaching right now, just moved through the Caney Creek area. We'll be approaching Gaskin at 3:04, Darlington 3:10, Gaynor 3:15, Royals Crossroads 3:17, and Sampson at 3:22. Okay, so I know we've been preparing our Geneva County listeners for a good hour on this particular line of thunderstorms that was in Santa Rosa County. We're saying right now, Sampson in Geneva County, we're looking at it approaching your area at about 3:22. So about 25 minutes to get to your safe place if you are in the Sampson area or portions of Geneva County. And we told you earlier, Enterprise, Coffee County, we want you guys preparing as well, because this is all moving a little to the north and also east. So we could be talking about portions of Dale County before this is all said and done.
I'm watching another storm tracking just outside the warned area in, let's see here, in Jackson County, Florida, and it's moving Northeast, like Amy was just saying, at about 64 miles an hour. It's got a 10% chance of half-inch sized hail. Should be in Cottonwood right at 3 o'clock, moving towards Grangerburg, then Terry Crossroads at 3:04, Dupree by 3:07, and then into Avon by 3:09 this afternoon. All these are tracking towards the
Okay, Dave.
Blakely area. Go ahead.
Break. We got a tornado warning.
Okay.
Let's go ahead. This is the area we've been talking about. I was telling you guys, so impressive on the radar. It has triggered a tornado warning for southeastern Okaloosa County. We've been talking about it, knowing it was there. Quarter size hail. At 2:54, we did have a Doppler indicated tornado, severe thunderstorm located over Wright. Okay. WRIGHT moving east at 45 miles per hour. Okay. Flying debris is associated with this possible tornado. It is a dangerous storm to be caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. We've been telling you, get out of those mobile homes and go to a friend's house. Let's talk about our family. Let's talk about some of the areas that are going to be impacted by this. Eglin Air Force Base, Lake Lorraine, and Shalimar around 3 p.m. That's right now. Destin at 3:10. So 10 minutes. If you are in the path of this tornado, you should be taking cover right now. Move to a basement or interior room of the lowest floor of the building you are in. You need to be staying away from exterior windows and doors, making sure that you are in the closest substantial shelter. If you are in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter. Of course, this is once again a tornado warning, and this is for our friends in Okaloosa County. The reason we are prompting everybody with this storm is because it will be affecting listeners in our immediate area as it continues to move east. So right now, this is going to be in effect a tornado warning until 3:30. So we have 30 minutes on this issued tornado warning, just issued by the Mobile National Weather Service. It is for southeastern Okaloosa County, okay? And it is moving east at 45 miles per hour. We do have hail associated with this tornado. It is indicated on radar right now. This is a dangerous storm. It is located near Eglin Air Force Base, Lake Lorraine, and Shalimar right now, and will be approaching the Destin area at 3:10. So, Dave, if you're in any of these areas or a future path east of these areas that we're talking about, east of Eglin, east of Shalimar or Lake Lorraine, you need to be taking preparations now.
Absolutely.
Destin, 10 minutes to prepare for that. Dave, let's talk about some of the areas that are east of this storm. We're talking about, or this actual tornado could be affecting some of our friends in Ebro.
That's right. Freeport, Ebro, Vernon could be feeling the effects of this storm later on this afternoon. Expect Chipley and Alford. Mariana's going to be feeling a lot of this storm too. This thing is tracking east, like Amy says, shifting slightly north. But if you look to the south, Amy, you'll see all that energy from the Gulf feeding this storm. So that's why they've extended the tornado watch east and in our Florida listening area till 9 o'clock this evening. That includes Geneva County here in Alabama. To the north of Geneva, tornado watch until 4 o'clock. Actually, Houston County now under a tornado watch until 9 o'clock this evening. For our listeners in Georgia, absolutely 10 o'clock tonight, your time, 9 o'clock Central Time, a tornado watch in effect to the east, and gonna be that way till at least 9 o'clock Central Standard Time.
So we've just had a tornado watch issued for Houston County until what time, Dave?
9 o'clock.
Until 9 o'clock tonight.
Tornado watch for Houston County till 9 o'clock.
Wow, this has been a day, y'all. Severe weather. Most importantly, on our radar right now, we want to make sure that if you're in the path of this tornado, we have a current tornado warning in effect for our friends in southeastern Okaloosa County. This storm is dangerous and is located over Lake Lorraine, moving east at 50 miles per hour now. If you are in the path of this tornado, you should be taking cover. They're saying tree damage is likely. It's approaching Destin. It should be there in about 7 minutes. So if you're in the path of this storm, take cover. take cover now. We have an actual tornado warning issued from the National Weather Service. And Dave, I want to, because we're all about preparing our listeners and our viewers. This actual tornado warning cone is very narrow. So when we're talking about, we've got a much larger severe thunderstorm warning for Walton, Okaloosa counties, but the actual tornado warning cone is very small. So when we talk about following the path of this actual tornado, we're talking about Destin coming up next here in about 6 minutes. So get to your safe place if you are in Destin or around in Walton County. But I want to prepare our listeners. Okay, so we just let's see, what do we have? This is a severe thunderstorm warning: Bay County, Walton County, Holmes County, Western Washington County. Just issued. Well, that was actually quite some time ago. Dave, I clicked on it.
That's all right.
What I want to talk about for the tornado warning, the folks in Ebro and any east of that, following a line, Dave, along could cross over actually 231. The way the path this tornado is traveling due east at about 50 miles per hour. Dave, maybe you can zoom in on some of that.
I am, and it seems to be, like you say, it's going to be affecting Destin, Miramar Beach. It's going to be cruising towards Freeport. I know a lot of us take that Freeport exit to get to Destin, heading towards Seminole Hills, Redhead, Bunker Donation. These are these little towns that you pass through when you're going to the beach. Ebro, you could certainly be affected by this storm. Everything to the east, I can't stress that enough, everything to the east of this particular tornado is going to be affected, if not by the tornado, by the storms that are bringing the tornado. And you can see a lot of moisture coming in from the Gulf, feeding that line of thunderstorms right there, Amy, and going into that severe thunderstorm warmed area. Don't forget, we are under a tornado watch until 9 o'clock tonight. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we are under tornado watch until 9 tonight. I want to talk about an area that I've been prepping Geneva County for quite some time, moving at about 54 miles per hour, 80% chance of hail, with 10% of that being severe hail, and that would be anything in excess of half an inch on that hail. Now, where we are right now with it, it's 3:06. We're in Lytle. So we're going to be looking at Coffee Springs at 3:13, okay? At 3:15, Chancellor, Bellwood, 3:19, Central City, 3:19, Batten's Crossroads at 3:20, and High Bluff at 3:21, okay? So this is over the next 12 minutes, 15 minutes. We're giving you some prep time on this particular storm. We do not have an actual severe thunderstorm warning at this time for Geneva County. We could see that happen. We could see that issued over the next few minutes. If not, we are just preparing you for a particular line of thunderstorms that is moving and approaching your area. So once again, we're talking Coffee Springs at 3:13, High Falls 3:15, Scranton 3:17, Bellwood 3:19, High Bluff and Batten's Crossroads at 3:20 and 3:21, Dave.
You're currently listening to WESP, WECB, and WJRL from Dothan and WBBK, Blakely, Dothan. Amy, there's a severe thunderstorm warning in our Georgia listening area. I want to touch on a particular storm cell that at 3:07 is just now leaving Killarney, moving towards Donaldsonville, be impacting Mayhaw, Enterprise, Georgia, Colquitt, and Korea in the next 20 or 30 minutes. This storm is moving at about 50 miles an hour. It's got an 80% chance of half-inch sized hail. So I want our WBBK Magic 93.1 listeners to take the same advice that we're giving our listeners in the Florida Panhandle. As a matter of fact, Amy, another tornado warning was just issued in the Panhandle of Florida from the National Weather Service in Tallahassee. This is a tornado warning for southwestern Walton County in the Panhandle of Florida until 3:30 this afternoon. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located right over Destin, moving east at 45 miles an hour. hour. This is radar indicated rotation, including a tornado and quarter-sized hail. Flying debris is definitely an issue with this storm. This dangerous storm will be near Santa Rosa Beach at about 3:25. So Santa Rosa Beach has got plenty of time to get out in front of this thing.
Santa Rosa Beach, 3:25. So now we're looking at a tornado warning that's just been issued for southwestern Walton County. This is a spillover from the tornado warning that we were talking about just moments ago. We have a thunderstorm located over Destin right now, moving at 45 miles per hour. So what we've been saying is anybody east of Destin needs to be preparing for this, because it is actually staying on radar, which is telling us it still has what it needs to continue moving on. So if you're east, we want you getting to your place of safety right now. And this would include locations, Gulf Pines, Grayton Beach, Blue Mountain Beach, Sandestin, Miramar Beach, and 4 Mile Village and Seaside. Okay. Also Seaside. We're including you guys in this as well. And then we're going to be branching over and going even further east, because you folks at right now, we're talking Santa Rosa Beach, 3:25. We're giving you almost 20 minutes of prep time, really 15 to 16 minutes of prep time if you are in Santa Rosa Beach. So we're giving anybody east of that more prep time than even that. So a good half hour to 40 minutes, anybody east of Santa Rosa Beach. If you are in a mobile home or a place that is not safe, this is a dangerous storm. It has triggered a tornado warning from the National Weather Service. You have time to get to a place of safety. That's what preparation is about. That's why we're doing this. We want you to move to a place of safety now. And a mobile home or a structure that is not sound, or a vehicle, is not a place of safety.
That's right, Amy. There's another storm cell here a little closer to home in Houston County, moving at about 60 miles an hour. Got a 50-50 chance of half-inch sized hail. It is cruising towards at 310 right now. It is in Dupree. Okay, it'll be at 313 in Ardilla and Pansy at 313, then crosses into Gordon at 316, and once it gets into Georgia, it'll be at Liberty at 319, Cedar Springs at 321, Columbia at 323, and Hilton at 324. That storm is moving at about 60 miles an hour. Just to the west of Mariana, a storm is moving at 47 miles an hour, 80% chance of half-inch sized hail at 311. This storm is headed right towards Jacob City. We'll be at Waddell's Mill at 3:15 this afternoon, Ellis Church at 3:25, Cottonwood at 3:29, Grangerburg and Malone right after that. But right now we're focusing on this tornado warning issued right along the coast of Florida that it's affecting our friends in the Destin, Sandestin area.
I'm sure you can hear that.
Mm-hmm.
That thunder. We just had a really big lightning flash here in Wicksburg. That's the storm moving through Geneva County that we've been preparing you folks for. No severe thunderstorm warning still issued yet for Geneva County. Not at this moment. However, we are preparing you all for this line of thunderstorms moving through. Should be approaching right now. It is 312 Marl. Then we're looking at Coffee Springs, 321. Chancellor, 323, Bellwood, 327, High Bluff by 329. Now, something around the Pinkard, let's talk about this. There's a line of thunderstorms, which is probably triggering this thunder and lightning you're hearing right now. Wicksburg at 314, 2 minutes away. So, although it is not as impressive on the radar, it's just a small cell that's going to be moving through the area. We are not under a severe thunderstorm warning, but that does not mean to let your guard down. We're just saying here, Wicksburg in 2 minutes. Right behind that, Backham's Crossroads at 316, Brandon Stand by 323, Newton 323, Pinkard as well, and Whispering Pines. So you guys be weather aware approaching your area.
Joining us on the roof of the Charles Woods building in downtown Dothan, we got Brother Ricky on the roof, and Brother Ricky's going to point the camera towards some of these storms so you can kind of get a bird's eye view of what Amy and I are talking about. Good afternoon, Ricky. What you going to point the camera? Where are you going to point the camera first?
Well, you said we had a line of storms leaving the Cowards area, and it's headed over toward Columbia, and it's south of town, and that's going to be moving right over in here, right off to the east. This being Highway 52 to the east, going through Columbia, becomes Highway 62 into Blakely and Hilton. That storm is moving that way. Amy is over in that direction in Wicksburg, and I've been seeing a lot of lightning activity over there. Right now, the rain is not too bad right here in Dothan. And with the exception of some lightning off in the vicinity of Wicksburg, things are not really too bad right now. It looks worse on radar, but most of that stuff is at altitude, so it's way up in the atmosphere. But on the border, basically the I-10 corridor, which runs south of Dothan, that's where all the activity is traveling down there.
Height of these storms, Ricky, is that what's contributing to all the hail that we're getting? Because the altitude, like you say, I think that is what might be producing all of this unusual hail. Real quick, Ricky, before we get to that, a tornado warning in effect for our friends in Walton County, Southern Holmes County, Central Washington County, there in the panhandle of Florida until 3:45 this afternoon. Flying debris, hail, heavy rains, and of course, high winds are going to be a factor in this storm. This is a radar-indicated tornado that has quarter-inch hail. It's going to be, let's see here, it's moving.
It's at Defuniak Springs right now.
Moving at about 45 miles an hour.
This is an actual tornado warning. See, this is brand new from the ones that we've been giving you on the coast along Okaloosa and around Freeport and Destin. This is a completely different tornado warning located just over Defuniak Springs, moving east at 45 miles per hour. This is a very dangerous storm. It will be near Vernon and Bonifay at 3:45. So right now we're looking at 3:15. You've got 30 minutes in Vernon and Bonifay to take cover. Other locations impacted are Henson's Crossroads, Caryville, Westville, Defuniak Spring Airport, Rock Hill, Union, Holmes Valley. Any of those areas, you need to be getting to your place of safety right now. An actual tornado warning just issued for you guys.
Wow. Amy, I don't know if this is comforting news or not, but Santa Rosa County no longer even has a tornado watch anymore. Brother Ricky, what have you got for us?
Once again, the rain is starting to pick up here again in Dothan. Again, not much lightning activity, and the wind, it's fairly calm out here. But you can see off to the north of town, as we see on our radar, we're pretty clear to the north of town. But it gets real dark as we move back around to the south where all the activity is.
That's absolutely where the activity is. Jackson County still under a severe thunderstorm warning. Go ahead, Amy.
Let's go ahead and stay on the tornado warnings, because that is definitely right now where our listeners and viewers need to be warned so that they can be taking cover immediately. Dave, do you want to go over? I'm trying to post
my storm track hasn't updated since
okay,
you
here we go.
Gave us one.
I got it. Tornado warning issued for Central Walton County, Southern Holmes County, and Central Washington County until 3:45. We have an actual radar indicated tornado at about 4 minutes ago, located over Defuniak Springs, moving east at 45 miles per hour. Now, this is a radar indicated rotation. We also have quarter size hail associated with it, flying debris. More than likely, we need you to take cover. This dangerous storm will be near Vernon and Bonifay around 3:45. So about 25 minutes from right now. If you have friends, family, loved ones in that area, give them a call. Tell them to take cover now. Other locations that are impacted by this tornado include Henson's Crossroads, Caryville, Westville, Whitehead Crossroads, Gretny, Defuniak Spring Airport, Rock Hill, Union, and Holmes Valley. So once again, an actual tornado warning for our friends around Defuniak Springs at this moment that will be affecting Vernon and Bonifay. So if you're in those areas, please take cover now.
There's a lot of storms brewing right where Amy is talking about in that tornado warned area. My radar has not updated, but we're going to be watching Storm K8 and Storm Cell W5. Right now, Storm Cell S2 in the warned area right on top of Caryville. And here at 318, it is at Hathaway Mill. Moving towards Gritney, we'll be there at 322. Isagora at 332. Bethlehem, 336. Pittman at 336. Miller Crossroads at 339. New Hope, Arts Crossroads, and Smith Crossroads by quarter till the top of the hour. Now, that storm seems to be tracking almost directly north, Amy, which is not the way most of these storms have been traveling this morning, mostly north and east. But that particular storm cell moving straight north about 29 miles an hour, dropping half-inch sized hail.
Okay, guys. So once again, if you are on our Facebook live stream, please share, share, because when we have tornadic activity, sometimes this is the way people get their alerts in advance, and we want to make sure that everybody that's in the path of this actual tornado. We actually have 3 active tornado warnings at the moment, but in our immediate listening area, viewing area for Facebook, we're talking to Defuniak Springs. This tornado warning was issued moments ago by the National Weather Service in Tallahassee. It is for central Walton County, southern Holmes County, and central Washington County. This is in effect until 3:45 today. About 6 minutes ago, we had a thunderstorm or tornado located on radar right over Defuniak Springs, moving east at 45 miles per hour. This tornado has quarter-size hail associated with it. If you are in the path of this tornado, please take cover right now. Vernon and Bonifay around 3:45. This tornado warning will be in your area. So for 25 minutes from right now, you should be taking cover. Remember, move to a basement, interior room of the lowest level in the building that you're in. If you're in a vehicle, that's not a safe place to be. Take cover in the closest sturdy structure that you can, substantial shelter that you can get to protect yourself from flying debris. A vehicle is not a safe place to be. Mobile homes are not a safe place to be. Vernon and Bonifay, if you're in mobile homes, get somewhere safe over the next 20 minutes. So once again, this is an actual tornado warning. Dave, if you would cover the tornado warnings that we have, the other 2 active warnings that we have.
The other 2 active warnings, Amy, the first one started this afternoon for southeastern Okaloosa County. It has actually been canceled because it got pushed into the one that is now affecting the one in the Destin area. That's until 3:45 this afternoon. This is a tornado, radar indicated rotation, and quarter-sized hail associated with it. I'm tracking this storm in particular. It's storm cell J1, moving at about 45 miles an hour, 50% chance of half-inch sized hail at 3:21. It is just now leaving Choctaw, headed toward Bunker and Fluffy Landing. It will be at Old Bayview at 3:24 in Bruce, which is another one of those main turnoff roads that we use to get to the coast. It'll be there by about 3:34 this afternoon. They're expecting this storm at 3:39 in Ebro.
Dave, now we actually have a confirmed tornado just issued by the National Weather Service 1 minute ago. This is not a radar indicated tornado. This is a confirmed tornado located 7 miles now east of Defuniak Springs. Defuniak Springs, please take cover now. Get to your safe place. If you're seeing us on Facebook Live, listening on the radio, wherever you are, please be taking cover now. 7 miles east of Defuniak Springs, a confirmed tornado. You need to be taking cover. It will be near Vernon and Bonifay at 3:45, so 20 minutes from right now. And these locations do include Henson's Crossroads, Brock Crossroads, Caryville, Douglas Crossroad, Westville, Whitehead Crossroads, Gritney, Union, and Ucachina. If you are in any of these areas, you are in the path of this tornado. It is now actually a confirmed tornado on by the National Weather Service not a radar indicated. It is actually a confirmed tornado. So please take cover if you are in these areas right now.
Amy, the National Weather Service in Tallahassee has just now issued another severe thunderstorm warning for southeastern Geneva County, southeastern Houston County, Jackson County, Bay County, western Calhoun County, Walton County, Holmes County, Washington County, north central Decatur County in Georgia, southwestern Early County in Georgia, Seminole County in southwestern Georgia. And these are all the same storm that is producing all of these tornado warnings, all of these severe thunderstorm warnings. Amy, they're just layering on top of each other. I can barely see the rain on the radar anymore. Thank you.
It's incredible, guys. And listen, just share our stream right now. The main thing is first and foremost, active tornadoes. Confirmed tornado we have for our friends in Defuniak Springs should be in your area right now. Caryville. You guys need to be taking cover. Vernon and Bonifay taking cover right now. Dave, I can clearly see the definition on the radar right now, Dave. If you'll look, you can see it with F9.
Around Defuniak Springs.
Actual tornado warning. So Bonifay and Vernon, you are looking at 345 in your area. Please be taking cover if you're in the path of this storm. We also were talking about how Geneva County, we were looking for a future severe thunderstorm warning to be issued for Geneva County. It has now been issued. We want to talk about some of the areas that will be impacted by these storms in Geneva County. We're looking at right now, should be over High Falls, Hartford at 330, Dundee at 333, Slocum at 338, Clayhatchie 339, and Wicksburg at 341. So about a little less than 20 minutes for Wicksburg, Clayhatchie, Slocum. You all need to be on guard. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for your area, which means conditions are favorable for tornadic activity. But however, the main focus we have right now, Dave, is the tornado warning. Are you seeing that now, Dave? Has your radar adjusted for the actual tornado warning?
Yeah. Oh, yes. The one that was the one that expires at 3:45. The one that was issued by the National Weather Service at 3:20. The confirmed tornado 7 miles east of Defuniak Springs, moving east at 45 miles an hour, damaging tornado, quarter-sized hail. This is a radar confirmed tornado, not indicated rotation, but a confirmed tornado. Flying debris is definitely an issue with this storm. As Amy's been saying over and over again, Vernon and Bonifay, it's going to be right around you in, about 20 minutes from right now at 3:45.
Actually, a little less. Yeah. Y'all need to be taking cover. If you know someone in that area, have them get to a place of safety right now. It's not radar indicated. We do have a confirmed tornado. That means National Weather Service has spotters or someone on the ground has called in a confirmed tornado. That's the difference, in case you're not aware of what's different with a confirmed tornado versus a radar indicated. That means we actually have spotters, storm chasers, or someone has called in to the National Weather Service and had eyes on an actual tornado on the ground. That's why it's so important to be taking cover if you are in the Defuniak Springs area. That was just moments ago. So it's passing through and should be affecting Henson's Crossroads, Brock's Crossroads, Caryville. Caryville, you're up next. Westville, Whitehead Crossroads, Gritney, and Union. Then we've talked about Bonifay and Vernon at 345. So you folks need to be taking cover.
Absolutely. This tornado warning is in effect until 3:45 this afternoon. This entire area that we're talking about, a severe thunderstorm warning until 3:15 this afternoon. I guarantee you that's going to be extended. I'm sorry, 4:15 this afternoon. I guarantee you that'll be extended throughout the afternoon and possibly into the early evening. The good news, Amy, I'm watching that track of storms that originated in Pensacola. It seems to be staying in the Gulf. However, Panama City, Gulf County, and Gulf County and Bay County, you're due to have some storms hit you probably within the next hour or so. I wanted to touch base with our friends listening on WBBK in Georgia. Georgia, Seminole County's got a storm cell moving at about 56 miles an hour. It is dropping some half-inch sized hail. At 3:27, it is leaving Desser and heading towards Green Acres subdivision. We'll be at Town and Country Estates by 3:35 this afternoon, and then moving into Donaldsonville, Georgia by 3:37. Now, around the Gordon area, we got another storm, R5, cruising at about 60 miles an hour, also producing some half-inch sized hail. Going to be in Blakely by 3:36 this afternoon. This storm's moving at about 60 miles an hour. The main focus we have right now, though, is that tornado confirmed on the ground in the Bonifay Vernon area right now. Amy, update us. My F9 has not updated since you brought that up. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about that one.
So let's see what we've got. The actual tornado warning. We are still, the area that I'm most concerned with is approaching Caryville. Okay, so if you're in the Caryville area, this is what we were telling you. We have a confirmed tornado issued from the National Weather Service, and the areas that are going to be impacted do continue to be. Let me give you some of the actual locations. Vernon and Bonifay, 3:45. So about 15 minutes for you guys. We want to make sure that you're prepared. Also, we're talking Henson's Crossroads, Brock Crossroads, Caryville, Westville, Whitehead Crossroads, Gritney, and Union. You folks need to be taking cover if you are in the path of this dangerous storm. And once again, the difference in this. Okay, so we just had, okay, let's see here. Let me see if my cone has changed. In
the meantime, if anybody wants to look at the screen, I've highlighted the area that Amy is talking about specifically, and it's hard to see city names and anything like that, but that's Chipley right there. If you're looking at our screen on the mouse, that's Chipley, and that is the path of quite a number of storms that are originating in that area. Now, that is not the confirmed storm. That, I believe, is a little further to the south.
Dave,
there we go. Go ahead, Amy.
We do have a tornado warning for northwestern Bay County, southeastern Walton County, and southwestern Washington County until 3:45, so 15 minutes there. About 6 minutes ago, we had that storm with the possible tornado at Santa Rosa Beach. We were prepping you for that probably 30 minutes ago. So it was located moving east around Santa Rosa Beach, moving at about 45 miles per hour. Also, quarter-size hail associated with it. It was a radar-indicated rotation. This thunderstorm is mainly going to remain over rural areas in northwestern Bay County, Walton, and Washington counties, but we're looking at Seminole Hills, Port Washington, Gulf Resort Beach, Blue Mountain Beach, Seaside, Pine Log, Sunnyside, and Bunker. If you are in the path of this storm, you should be taking cover because it is an actual tornado warning, once again, issued by the National Weather Service for our friends in northwestern Bay County in the Florida Panhandle, southeastern Walton County, and southwestern Washington County.
Amy, I'm tracking storm F9 here, moving at about 45 miles an hour, moving north-northeast. Not real hail associated with this storm, but I want folks to know that this thing has some gusty winds, and it is moving at 45 miles an hour at 3:31 this afternoon. It is leaving Caryville, headed towards Bonifay at 3:38. Then at Bethlehem at 3:44. It should be at Holland Crossroads at 3:51. Esto at 3:53 this afternoon. That is storm cell F9 that originated just about where the tornado was.
Right. So once again, let's talk to the folks. Let me talk to the folks around my hometown. We're looking at a storm moving about 52 miles per hour that should be right now 3:32 should be arriving in Wicksburg. I'm not seeing, well, let's see, we just had another tornado warning just issued, guys. So we have a confirmed tornado of Vernon. Okay, guys, we've been talking Vernon, Bonifay. We now have a confirmed tornado 11 miles northwest of Vernon, moving east at 45 miles per hour. This is that same tornado that we've been, which prompted the actual tornado warning 12 minutes ago. It is radar confirmed. We have, it's going to be near Vernon and Bonifay 345. So basically what they're saying when they issue this again is saying, hey, we still have a confirmation. This tornado is still there and we want people taking cover. So it should be near Vernon and Bonifay 345. Right now, it is 11 miles northwest of Vernon. This was as of 2 minutes ago.
Moving
11
east at
miles,
about 45 miles an
45
hour.
miles per hour. So it's right on track to be affecting you guys in moments. So we want you in your safe place right now. So locations that will be impacted by this tornado is Henson's Crossroads, Brock Crossroads, Caryville, Westville, Whitehead Crossroads, 5 Points, Hulaw now added, Knox Hill, Ponce de Leon, and Smyrna. So if you're in those areas, we want you taking cover for this actual tornado warning just issued again, or basically an extension of the original tornado warning, because they still have a confirmation of this tornado 11 miles northwest of Vernon, moving east at 45 miles per hour.
If you're outdoors or in a mobile home or in a vehicle, you need to move to the closest substantial shelter, especially if Amy has listed one of your cities in the past minute or so. Get into a shelter right now. Protect yourself from flying debris. That is the main killer in storms like this. Trees flying around, trailers, furniture and stuff like that will certainly put a hole into a building. So now is the time to take cover. If you can move to a basement or an interior room of your home on the lowest floor of a very sturdy building, that's where you want to be. You don't want to be near windows. This is not looky-loo time. This is the time to take cover and prepare yourself for the very worst possible storm.
Yes. And so once again, let's see, we're looking at the tornado warning. My main thing is just hammering anybody that's in the path of this tornado. You probably are really starting to feel it close to Vernon. Now we've talked about Bonifay. Your times are for actual arrival could be at 3:45. So 10 minutes. We've been needing you to be in your safe place for quite some time now. We hope that you are there, hunkered down. Don't be out trying to look and see or getting video. Get in a safe place, staying away from exterior windows and doors for sure. Lowest level, out of your vehicle, in a substantial, whatever the best substantial structure is close by for sure.
Absolutely. Like we were saying, flying debris is your main getter in this storm right here. I'm tracking another storm, Amy. It's the same storm. Sorry, 60% chance of half-inch size hail in Bonifay at 3:45 this afternoon. It will be moving towards Hoover Mill at about 3:50 this afternoon. At 3:52, this storm should be approaching Bethlehem. Another storm right next to it. Going to be affecting Bonifay here in the next few minutes, moving almost parallel with the storm here. This is just storm cell after storm cell following this tornado warning that was issued just moments ago. Folks, get out of the way of this storm. It is moving, as Amy has indicated, towards Geneva County. It's going to be moving towards Houston County as the afternoon progresses. This storm is moving northeast at about 45 miles an hour. And not to ignore the folks to the south of us, Amy, they're still dealing with severe weather and a tornado warning that hasn't expired yet.
Right.
Okay, this is the one well to the south of Bonifay.
You know, I'm big on prepping everybody east. So with this actual confirmed tornado warning, I want to go ahead and talk to the folks in Chipley. I want to talk to the folks in Alford, Marianna, in Jackson County. I want you guys to go ahead and be preparing, because this storm is pretty much, this tornado has been moving due east ever since it was indicated by the National Weather Service. So we want you, if you are due east of Bonifay or Vernon and you don't know, I'm talking Chipley, Alford, Marianna, anywhere Jackson County. Yeah,
Cottondale, Greenwood, Malone, Graceville. These are all cities and towns that are going to be affected by these storms that we're talking to. If I want to zoom in, I can get down to it. We're talking Sills, Campbellton, Waddell's Mill, Jacob City, Richter Crossroads, Bahoma. If you're in any of these townships that we're talking about, Kinesville, Cottondale, you're going to be feeling this storm, if not the tornado itself. We're talking about inch-sized hail. We're talking 50-mile-an-hour winds. It is time now to hunker down. We've given you plenty of lead time, Amy. It is 3:38. Have you got a track on any of those storms right now?
I do. Let me talk to you about what I'm looking at with F9 moving 60 miles per hour. Hoover Mill should be just passing through at 340. Ards Crossroads, High Note 342, Esto 343, Noma 344, and Winlom 344. This is another area of thunderstorms that we're watching, not too far from Bonifay, but right now our biggest concern is for our friends in Bonifay and Vernon, because it is approaching. It is 3:38. Our National Weather Service said 3:45 dangerous storm with a tornado confirmed for our friends in Vernon and Bonifay.
That's right, Amy. And our friends in Georgia aren't out of the woods yet either. They're listening to our sister station, WBB County, out of Blakely, and they're still dealing with a line of thunderstorms. They are part of the severe thunderstorm warning that is covering all of these tornadoes that we've been talking about for the past 5 or 10 minutes. So our listeners in Georgia need to be prepping as well. This storm will be heading your way within the next 30 minutes to an hour, depending on the speed of these cells as they move through the area.
Dave, I
We
want to
are under a, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to remind everybody we're under a tornado watch for most of our listening area until 9 o'clock this evening. That's just the facts, Jack, and I don't want to make light of it, but we are under the severe weather for the rest of this afternoon, it seems. Now, the good news is once it passes through, everything goes away pretty quickly.
So I want to make mention of the bridge on Westgate at First Med in Dothan is flooded. Over caution, it's flooded over. So drivers do not need to be trying to cross that bridge at this time. It's the bridge at Westgate and First Med. So that was texted to me. We want to make sure that we know you're safe. Really, if you don't have to be out on the roads right now, folks, please don't do that. We are 4 stations broadcast so much. If you are listening on any of the Wiregrass radio stations, we are doing our best to keep, we are 9 hours plus on sitting right here since 6 o'clock this morning, keeping you weather aware and trying to stay on top of these storms. And right now, the main focus is our friends in Vernon and Bonifay with an active tornado warning. Should be approaching them within 5 minutes. They need to be taking cover, if not
right,
already
Amy.
through there.
Tornado warning was issued by the National Weather Service in Tallahassee due to expire in about 5 minutes. But Amy has been listing cities and towns that are in the path of all of these storms right now. There's one around the Freeport area, Amy, that is moving at about 45 miles an hour, 100% probability of hail, could be up to 2 inches in size. The reason I mention that, Amy, is that this storm is moving north-northeast and will be affecting those folks that were just affected by the tornado moments ago. So these storms aren't like once and done. It's like storm after storm after storm. So don't think that if we're saying that tornado is not near you, that there's not storm activity around you. There is. Winds up to 45 miles an hour, half-inch and larger sized hail, and 100% probability of all that happening while we're talking to you over the next 45 minutes. This severe thunderstorm warning is set to expire at 4:15 this afternoon. But, Amy, if things follow the way they've been going all day long, it will shift to the east.
Yeah, well, it's pretty much heading due east. So that's why we've been working on getting our folks in Chipley, Alford, Mariana, our Jackson County, and Holmes County folks staying on top of it. And I want to go ahead and I know it's early, guys, but I believe in doing that. I want to go ahead and get our Georgia listeners, because all day long we've tried to give you an hour or 45 minutes of prep time on these storms. We had tornadoes early this morning that we had you prepped for an hour before they ever got there. We're doing the same thing with this for our Georgia listeners right now. Seminole County, I'll say Decatur County, we're talking Chattahoochee, Bainbridge, any of those areas. If this particular cell, which has contained a confirmed tornado ever since it presented itself just outside of Santa Rosa County. If it stays like it is, it will be affecting you guys. So right now, we want to make sure that you are prepared in advance for this line of thunderstorms moving through, and you could possibly see some tornadic activity with it. So let's go ahead and make sure you guys are prepped and ready in your safe place by the time it reaches you over in Georgia.
All the tornado warnings have been dropped by the National Weather Service, Amy. So I'm glad you brought up our friends in Georgia. I'm watching Storm 05 moving at about 54 miles an hour, moving northeast here at 3:45 this afternoon. It is heading into Two Egg. It will be in Lovedale at 3:47, Buena Vista, and I know we've got listeners in Buena Vista at 3:48 this afternoon. Then in Paramore, it should be in Hornsville by 3:53, Steam Mill by 3:56, and Lucy at 3:57. Once again, this storm's moving at about 54 miles an hour. It is dropping half-inch sized hail to the north. This storm originated around the Malone, Florida area, and it is moving towards Donaldsonville,
Dave?
Georgia right now. Go ahead, Amy.
Tornado warning issued by the National Weather Service from Tallahassee for central Jackson County. These were the places we were trying to prepare you for following Vernon and Bonifay. Central Jackson County, southeastern Holmes County, and northeastern Washington County. This is going to be in effect until 4:15, so 30 minutes on this particular tornado warning. Just moments ago, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado, which was confirmed earlier, was located near Bonifay, moving east at 55 miles per hour. So this was just moments ago near Bonifay, moving east at 55 miles per hour. This dangerous storm will be near Chipley at 3:50. Okay, let's talk to you folks in Chipley. You got 6 minutes to get to your safe place. Mariana at 4:10. So you guys have 25 minutes to get to your safe place. Other locations impacted, and I know it's not showing on the radar yet, Dave. It'll pop up here in just a minute.
Mhm.
Other locations impacted are going to be Richter Crossroads, Bradford, Cottondale, Alford, Blue Spring, Union City, Bohama, Sylvania, and Johnson's Crossroads. Y'all, we were telling you guys this 30 minutes ago. This is why we're prepping our folks over in Georgia now for it, so that you have an hour's notice before it gets to you. So once again, this is an actual tornado warning just issued moments ago for central Jackson County in the Florida Panhandle, southeastern Holmes County, northeastern Washington County. At about 3:42, 3 minutes ago, there was a severe thunderstorm with a possible tornado located near Bonifay. Earlier, it was confirmed. It was actual eyes on the ground spotted the tornado, and it was near Bonifay, moving east at 55 miles per hour just moments ago. It should be approaching Chipley in about 5 minutes. If you have family or friends in Chipley, you need to be telling them to get to their safe place now. Mariana at 4:10. If you are in the path of this storm, take cover now. This is there it is, just popped up on the radar. We're way ahead of this popping up on the radar. We want you guys knowing ahead of time. Dave, you should be able to see it now.
Hasn't popped up on mine yet. I'm going to let
Okay.
you talk about it. I'm focusing on these storms moving through Early County right now. I've got a particular cell moving at 90 miles an hour, dropping half-inch sized hail, and it is
Hey,
going
guys.
to be at 3:46.
Sorry.
It's going to be in Blakely, moving into Rowena. Go ahead, Amy.
Another tornado warning, not
Mhm.
showing up yet on the radar. We do have it issued for Bay County in the Florida Panhandle and southern Washington County. Okay, so now we're talking about 2 active tornado warnings, one for our folks in Chipley and Mariana, and one for our friends in Bay County and Washington County. So this actual tornado was 9 miles north of Panama City, moving east at 45 miles per hour. If you have friends and family in Panama City, you need to be talking with them, telling them to get to their safe place. Now, this is a radar indicated rotation. This dangerous storm is going to be near Lynn Haven at 4:05. Okay, so at 4:05, the folks in Lynn Haven should be in their safe place, should be taking cover. Now, I'm now getting an issue from or alert from Bay County. So the folks in Bay County issuing this tornado warning. Other locations, let's talk about locations with this particular tornado warning. Should be Southport, Cedar Grove, College Station, Gulf Resort Beach, Bayou George, West Panama City, and Camp Flowers. If you are in the path of this tornado, we need you taking cover now. It is an actual tornado warning issued for our friends in Bay County, in the Florida Panhandle, and southeastern Walton County. Okay. This is going to be in effect until 4:15. 3 minutes ago, it was located 9 miles north of Panama City Beach, moving east at 45 miles per hour. So once again, it's going to be in Lynn Haven at 4:05. Now, the reason I want to make sure that our folks in Lynn Haven are prepped, we want them at 4:05. But then east of that for Calhoun County, Weewall, those areas, Bluntstown, if you're in any of those areas, you are east of this storm and this actual tornado warning. There it is. It's popping up on the radar now. Then you need to be taking cover as well, because you do have some advance notice. We're talking 2 active tornado warnings. Dave, would you like to cover the one for Mariana?
I've got the tornado warning that was issued by the National Weather Service in Tallahassee just moments ago, 3:42. It's for central Jackson County in the Panhandle, southeastern Holmes County, and northeastern Washington County until 4:15. Tornado and quarter-sized hail is what is indicated. It was located near Bonifay, moving east at 55 miles an hour. Chipley is going to be affected by this storm right about now. So, Chipley, you need to be hunkered down. Mariana, you've got about 20 minutes to get in front of this thing. They're expecting it to be near you at 4:10 this afternoon. Other areas affected by this tornadic thunderstorm include Richter Crossroads, Bradford, Cottondale, Alford, Blue Spring, Union City, Star, Bahoma, Sylvania, and Johnson Crossroads. You need to take cover right now. Right now, we're talking radar indicated tornado, 1-inch sized hail, and these winds are cruising along. I don't know if you can hear over my microphone. The winds outside of the studio are going absolutely crazy here in Dothan, Alabama. Now, the tornado warning that just popped up, Amy was talking about in Bay County. What have you got for us down there, Amy?
Hold on one second. Bay County. Let's go over this again. Bay County. We have an actual tornado warning for Bay County, southeastern Walton County, and southern Washington County. This is in effect until 4:15 today. At 3:45, we had a severe thunderstorm with possible tornado located 9 miles north of Panama City Beach, moving east at 45 miles per hour. We also are talking quarter-sized hail with this line of thunderstorms with the tornado. The areas of concern right now will be for, of course, Panama City, Lynn Haven at 4:05. So, Lynn Haven, you have 15 minutes to go ahead and get to your safe place before this storm approaches your area, which has prompted the actual tornado warning. Other locations impacted by this storm include Southport, Seminole Hills, Cedar Grove, Singer Road, College Station, Gulf Resort Beach, Bayou George, and West Panama City and Camp Flowers. So if you're in those areas, please take cover now. If you have family or friends in those areas, you need to let them know to be preparing and getting to their safe place. This is once again a tornado warning, radar indicated tornado for our friends in Bay County, in the Florida Panhandle, also southeastern Walton County and southern Washington County as well.
Amy, I want to give some forewarning to our friends in Chattahoochee, Bainbridge, Attapulgis, Whigham, and Cairo in Georgia. This tornadic storm around the Mariana area is going to be headed in your direction in the next 20, 30, or 40 minutes, depending on the speed of these storms. Forewarned is forearmed, and we want you guys to get out of the path of this storm. If you're listening on our sister station, WBBK, in Georgia, this is for you right there, especially around the Chattahoochee, Donaldsonville, Bainbridge, Attapulgis, and Whigham area. Now is the time to get in front of this thing and go to your safe space and prepare for the rain and winds and hail that is associated with all of these storms that we're talking about. A tornado warning in effect until 4:15 for central Jackson County, southeastern Holmes County, and northeastern Washington County at 3:42 this afternoon. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was near Bonifay, moving at 55 miles an hour, dropping some quarter-sized hail. This is radar-indicated rotation, so flying debris is going to be an issue and dangerous for everybody caught without shelter. Mobile homes could be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will definitely occur, and watch out for trees falling. Chipley, Florida, this storm is hitting you right now. Mariana, this storm will be around you at about 4:10 this afternoon. It is time now to take cover and get out of the path of this very dangerous storm.
Okay, guys. So we know that we are just hammering this over and over and over again, but when there are active tornado warnings, life and making sure that people are safe is of the utmost importance. So if you're not in any of these areas that are directly affected by the tornado warnings, please bear with us because it is of the utmost importance that we are making sure our listeners and viewers are well prepared for what is to come if they are in the path of these storms, because knowledge is key. And if it
Absolutely.
saves one life, then we've done our job. We have literally been sitting in these chairs since 6 a.m. this morning.
We sure have, Amy. I'm watching
Going on
Storm
12
Cell.
hours.
I'm watching Storm Cell P3 here, Amy, right there in the warned area. It originated just to the east of Wausau, and it is moving at 33 miles an hour. Not one of the fastest moving storms, but it is right there in the warned area. So I want the folks in around the Kent Mill area, Round Lake, and Alford to be prepared for some straight line winds, the possibility of some heavy rain and hail, and of course thunder and lightning associated with this storm. It'll be in Cottondale by about 12 minutes after 4 this afternoon, moving into Glass after that. Some of the bigger storms on the outskirts of that warned area, Amy, Storm Cell N5 moving at 62 miles an hour, 50-50 chance of half-inch sized hail. Right now at 3:54, it's in Grand Ridge, moving towards Paramore by 4:02 this afternoon, then at Paradise Acres at 4:04 and Reynoldsville at 4:10 this afternoon as it moves into our Georgia listening area. Storm 05 also on the outskirts of that tornado warned area should be hitting the Hornsville area right now at Steam Mill at 3:57 at Green Acres subdivision by 4 minutes after the top of the hour. Further to the south of us, Amy, those are, like you said, it's a little bit more rural. I've got fewer towns to talk about there, but it is a tornado warning in effect until 4:15 this afternoon. So let's talk about who in front of this storm can get ready. I'm talking about Bluntstown, Greensboro, Quincy, Florida can get ahead of this thing.
Havana.
Alpha, Florida, Havana, Weewa, Amy had mentioned earlier, Grand Ridge, as we get closer to the Florida-Georgia line there, Chattahoochee, Bainbridge, you need to be on alert for this storm. Donaldsonville, don't feel like you're not going to be affected by these storms we're talking about in Florida. These storms are moving northeast at anywhere between 30 and 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm telling you, I'm trying to adjust the sound here for a moment, Dave. If I can. So what we're looking at right now, 2 active tornado warnings. I will say I did get some pictures from someone in the Bonifay area. They did have some trees uprooted that I'm seeing right now. Some buildings, metal buildings or barns with some structural damage that I've seen so far. If you are in Chipley, Mariana, Alford, we want you guys actually taking cover, protecting yourself and your family. We've tried to make sure that you've had good advanced warning with these storms coming through today. Down in Lynn Haven, we're looking 9 minutes for you guys for this tornado warning that you have in Lynn Haven. So we want you taking shelter and taking cover as well. Keep in mind, we still have some storms moving in out of the Gulf of Mexico onto shore. So we still could have some interesting developments for our folks in Panama City, Weehawken. Right now, for most of our local listeners in Geneva, Holmes County, Enterprise, nothing severe in Coffeedale, Geneva County right now. That's pretty much moving out. Just a lot of intense precipitation and rain. Possibly some areas, some rivers, some bridge areas. We've got reports of water coming over the bridges do not attempt to cross those
was
areas.
gonna
You will be
mention-
leaving
I
work.
was going to mention that, Amy, that the National Weather Service has issued severe flood warnings. Now, these are not
Yes.
flood watches. These are flood warnings due to all the rainfall that we've had today. So here's something to bear in mind. Once these storms move out, that's when the flash flooding is going to kick in, because the ground is so full of water, and the storms from north and west of us have dumped just tons of water in there. So like Amy was saying, there's going to be standing water on the road. There's going to be bridges that are covered over in water. So now is not the time to be looky-looing around, taking a look at damage. Wait until the all clear is giving. We've got a flash flood warning in effect from the National Weather Service for southeastern Dale County until till 6:45 this evening. Okay, southeastern Dale County, eastern Geneva County, Houston County, northern Jackson County, northeastern Holmes County, Early County, northwestern Seminole County in Georgia there. Okay, so lots of rain, lots of flooding. It's not a time to get on the road. Tornado warning in effect until 4:15 this afternoon. Amy, I just wanted to cover this once again. That's till 4:15 for Jackson County, southeastern Holmes County, northwestern Washington County. That's for about another 15 minutes. So areas affected in that zone are going to be like Chipola Trace, Mariana, Star, Oakdale, Simsville, Rock Creek, Cottondale, Kinesville, Alford, and Round Lake. Moving eastward, so Cypress, Grand Ridge, Delwood, Two Egg, Lovedale, Paramore, Desser, Paradise Acres. You guys are going to be feeling the effects of that tornado warning that was issued and is set to expire at 4:15 this afternoon. Real quick, Amy, you're listening to WESP, WECB, WJRL in Dothan, and WBBK in Blakely and in Dothan.
Thank you so much for being with us. If you've been with us for 10 hours already today, thank you so much. Please share with your friends and family. Once again, I had just moments ago an actual additional kind of extension, Dave, on the tornado warning, saying that at 3:56 they had a confirmed tornado located near Chipley, moving east at 55 miles per hour.
Yep. It's spiking at 74. It's got a 70% probability of half-inch sized hail. Let me go ahead and give you a path of that storm. It is
Mariana.
in Jacobs right now. That's right. Just north of Mariana. Should be in Cottondale in 2 minutes. Now, this storm is spiking at 74 miles an hour, Cottondale. You've got 2 minutes to hunker down. Waddell's Mill at 4:04, at Ellis at 4:08, Mariana at 4:09. Mariana's got 10 minutes to get out of the path of this particular storm cell that is dropping severe hail, lots of rain, and has gusty winds up to 74 miles an hour.
Yeah. And from our News 4 partner, Evan Chickbera, he says there is an ongoing tornado near Chipley, possible debris in the air. So they're probably seeing a radar indicated debris cloud. Y'all, this is the tornado that we've been following pretty much that came into Okaloosa County and has been on the ground for a while, or it really hasn't dissipated. It's been
since about 2:30 was when it developed around that area that I was talking about, and it has not gone away. And we were talking, it's 4 o'clock right now. Let me just cover some of those areas that are in the path of that storm that Evan's talking about in Chipley. Let's just go ahead and say, Cottondale, you're in it right now. Mariana at 4:09. You've got 8 minutes to get out of the path of this particular storm, then Chipola Trace after that. And if I follow it out, as I zoom in, I see Paradise Acres, Folestown there in Georgia, just south of Bainbridge. You're going to be feeling the effects of that storm as well.
So we have it, actually, it's a confirmed tornado. So we've talked about the difference in a radar indicated and a confirmed tornado being one that actually had eyes on it, ground, whether it's storm chasers, spotters, but we have a confirmed tornado at 50, moving east at 55 miles an hour, located near Chipley. So weather spotters did confirm it. I'm seeing that now. Should be in Mariana around 4:10. So 8 minutes from right now, Mariana, we need you taking cover. This is a confirmed tornado, a very dangerous storm in Mariana. We need you taking cover right now, getting away from exterior windows and doors, getting on the lowest level of the building you're in. If you are in a vehicle, vacate it, get to the closest sturdy, substantial structure. A vehicle is not a safe place, no matter what people say or you've heard. It is not a safe place. If you're listening on the radio, it is not a safe place to be during an actual tornado. Should be in Mariana in about 8 minutes from right now. A tornado is on the ground. Take cover now. Avoid windows, protecting yourself with whatever furniture you might can be. An actual mobile home, not a safe place to be.
Not a safe
We've been
place to be
telling
at
you
all.
this all day.
Mhm.
So once again, if you're in the path of this storm, we need you taking cover. If you have loved ones in that area, making phone calls to them. Mariana, 7 minutes. It's currently in Chipley. This is a confirmed tornado on the ground near Chipley, moving east at 55 miles per hour.
I want to let our folks in Georgia who are listening to WBBK know that this storm is headed your way. All of these storms are moving east, northeast, anywhere between 25 and 75 miles an hour, depending on the gusts. Okay. So I want our friends in Georgia, Donaldsonville, you've got a line of storms headed your way right now. But Amy, I think it's more important to talk about what's happening in our Florida counties.
Let's once again, because this is an actual, I'm showing right now 3 current tornado warnings. Okay. I'm showing 3. So let me talk to you about these. Right now, just moments ago, we had the tornado that was located by weather spotters near Chipley, at moving east at 55 miles per hour. Now, this particular tornado is going to be affecting Richter Crossroads, Chipley Municipal Airport, Orange Hill, Hinesville, Ridgetop, Bradford, Cottondale, Alfred, Blue Spring, and Union City. Okay. Mariana at 4:10. So 6 minutes from right now. Please, if you're in the path of this tornado, please take cover now. It is a dangerous storm. When we look at this additional tornado warning, it is going to remain in effect for about till 4:15. It is for the one for Bay County, southeastern Walton County, and Washington County. Okay, that was issued at 3:45. East of there are the folks that we're talking to. Dave was just talking about some of the folks. We're talking Weewaa-Hitchcock. We're talking Calhoun County with Bluntstown, Liberty County. If you're in this path east of where we're talking about in Bay County, then we want you taking cover and being prepared. Some of those places would be Cedar Grove, Seminole Hills, Camp Flowers. We talked about those earlier. The other tornado warning is going to remain in effect, Dave, until 4:30. That one is for northwestern Gulf County. This was just issued at 4 o'clock by the National Weather Service. So it's for northwestern Gulf County, southern Bay County, and southwestern Calhoun County, which are the counties that we're talking about with Bluntstown and Liberty. All those areas that we were talking about due east of the actual tornadoes, there has been a tornado warning actually issued for your area. We had a tornado 7 miles southeast of Panama City, moving east at 55 miles per hour. Weather spotters actually spotted this tornado as well. It is not radar indicated. It has been spotted by weather spotters and should be actually just moving out of Tyndall Air Force Base.
Okay.
We were looking at 4:05 for Tyndall Air Force Base. Next up, in 4 minutes, we're looking at Callaway, Springfield, and Highland Park. Okay, so if you're in those areas in the Florida Panhandle, we are trying to give you advanced warning. You need to be taking cover now because you are actually in a tornado warned area. Actual confirmed tornado on the ground by spotters for the National Weather Service. So take cover now if you are in the path of these storms. Weewaa-Hitchcock, we're talking to you too. You are east of these warned areas. Anywhere east, Dave. We can't stress it enough.
We really can't.
Down the road will be our Georgia listeners who are tuned in to WBBK right now.
That's right. And I want to talk about folks like in Grand Ridge, Delwood, Lovedale, Fairchild, Haynes, Reynoldsville, Recovery, Chattahoochee, Bainbridge, Lynn, Brinson. These are all Georgia cities that are going to be affected by this storm as it crosses over the border. Breaking it down for you real quick, we've got 3 confirmed tornado warnings with a really, really real confirmed tornado around the Chipley area that Amy's been covering. We're also under severe thunderstorm warning for the next 10 minutes or so. We're under a tornado watch until 9 o'clock tonight. And due to all the rain, we are under a flash flood warning. I've had an inquiry online, Amy, about Barber County. Barber County's just getting some rain right now. No
You guys
watches,
look good.
no warnings.
I know, yeah, that's a sigh of relief.
Mhm.
But once again, we have 2 real tornadoes that have been eyes put on the tornado by ground spotters for the National Weather Service. That one being Mariana that we've been talking about, should be approaching. It wasn't at 4:10 for Mariana.
That's right.
Okay. And then we're talking about right now also the one spotted, eyes on it, for our friends in Gulf County, Bay County, and Calhoun County. Should be just moved through the Tyndall Air Force Base area, moving east at 55 miles per hour. Should be approaching Callaway, Springfield, and Highland Park in about 2 minutes.
That's right.
Okay.
That means
So-
Cook, you need to get ready. Watapo, get ready early. Get ready. Weewa, it is headed your way. Okay. Kennard, Broad Branch, Abbey Springs, or Abe Springs, I should say, Frink, Rollins Corner. These are all little townships that if you've got friends or family in those areas, you need to give them a good heads up. They've got 10 or 15 minutes to get out in front of any severe weather that may be headed their way. That's why we're giving you this information and projecting ahead so that you know what to expect. Right now, Amy, 3 tornado warnings are in effect. One expires at 4:15. 2 expire at 4:15, but the one that's causing a lot of disturbance right now, 4:30, and that is well to the south of us in Gulf and Bay counties. And Georgia, what did I tell you? They just announced a severe thunderstorm warning, and y'all,
Yes.
this one's huge.
Yeah.
This one stretches from
covers
all the
a
way.
lot.
It starts in Arlington and goes all the way to Port St. Joe, Florida, this severe thunderstorm warning. That's how severe and strong this line of storms. And it's funny how it's kind of backed itself up into the Florida, Georgia, Alabama line here, Amy. We've got a lot of activity, a lot of storm, rain, hail, and high winds going on right now. And like I said, the National Weather Service has just issued a severe thunderstorm warning for eastern Houston County, Jackson County, Gulf County, Bay County, Calhoun County, western Gadsden County, Liberty County, Decatur, Miller, Baker, Early County, and Seminole counties. All these places we've been telling you ahead of time to buckle up and get ready. The severe weather's on the way. These are the most tornadoes we've seen all day at any one time. As a matter of fact, I think the National Weather Service is about to drop another bomb on us, Amy.
And what is that?
It's that severe thunderstorm when we beat them. The severe thunderstorm warning.
We've been beating them all day.
Uh,
We've been ahead of these warnings all day. So
yeah.
I mean, we're blessed with what we need to keep you guys aware. So hey, listen, as much advanced warning as we can give you, or you can get, it doesn't matter where you get it. Minutes can save lives, guys. So that's what this is all about. I'm getting some video in right now. Let me see what I have here. I've got a video. I'm gonna see if I can share it with you guys from someone in Panama City. I'm gonna try to play it here on the screen for you guys.
Go ahead.
This is in Panama City. It looks
Okay.
like a hurricane.
It sure does.
That's incredible.
I can't believe people are driving in it. Clearly, they're
So,
not listening to us.
This is where a tornado warned area just went through. This is Panama City footage just sent to me moments ago. So if you have any doubt about how severe these storms are, if you're east of Panama City, this type of footage, we're giving you some advance notice right here. Tornadoes have been spotted, and that's what's prompted the National Weather Service to issue the tornado warnings. Take these storms seriously. Get in your places of safety with your family, making sure that you are staying tuned in right here with Wiregrass Radio B1053. We also have 3 additional stations that we're broadcasting live, trying to keep our Georgia listeners atop of this, our Florida Panhandle listeners. And please make sure you are sharing our live stream if you are on Facebook Live or YouTube Live, so that we can reach as many people as possible with our coverage.
Currently, 3 tornado warnings due to expire in 3 minutes. That doesn't mean you're out of danger, because they have just reissued or extended the severe thunderstorm warning for a great portion of our listening area till 4:45 Central Daylight Time today. Now, the 2 tornado warned areas set to expire in 2 minutes now. Excuse me. Are producing lots of hail, lots of wind. As a matter of fact, I'm tracking a storm just south of Mariana, Amy, and this storm is moving at about 45 miles an hour. It is producing some hail. It's going to be in Greenwood at 419. To Egg at 421, Bascom by 425, and then Buena Vista by 425. And that is one of the storms that was produced in the tornado warned area. A little closer to Georgia, Amy, I'm looking at storm cell W8. And that is just north and west of Chattahoochee, moving at 60 miles an hour. It is producing some half-inch sized hail. It is going to be in Reynoldsville right about now, actually, moving into Brinson by 421, Bainbridge by 426, and then Osmac by 427. Well to the south of us, Amy, lots of storm activity. That one you're talking about in the Panama City area, moving at 56 miles an hour, dropping all kinds of hail, tons of rain. Let me remind everybody, too, most of our area is going to be in a flood zone as the storms move out. I know that's weird to think of the flood coming after the rain, but that's somehow how it works.
Tons of rain.
Yeah. Storm cell S6 moving at 56 miles an hour, 80% chance of the rain. Here at 414, well, it's just shifted, Amy. They've dropped the 2 tornado warnings that we were talking about, except for the one around the Panama City area. Why don't you break that down for us?
The one in Panama City, let's talk about it. And I just showed you video footage of how severe the weather was down in Panama City. So this one's going to remain in effect until 4:30. So about 16 more minutes remaining on this actual tornado warning. And it is for northwestern Gulf County, southern Bay County, and southwestern Calhoun County in effect until 4:30. We actually had tornado spotters on the ground that confirmed the tornado. It just moved through moments ago, like 4 or 5 minutes ago, through Callaway, Springfield, and Highland Park. Let me see. And that may be where they have
Amy, to answer a few questions that I'm spotting here on our streaming page right here, Leah asks if there's any bad weather headed towards Dothan. The power's out and she can't check the radar. We are under a flash flood warning for all of Houston County. We're also under a tornado watch until 9 o'clock for all of Houston County. Portions of the county are under severe thunderstorm warning. But to answer Leah's question, all I'm seeing on that radar right now is rain. Maybe a little bit of lightning over the next few hours or so, but nothing severe right now. As a matter of fact, as I look to the west, Amy, I see where the tornado watch is being dropped as the storms continue to move east. Tornado watch is in effect until 9 o'clock for all of our listening area, and for most of the panhandle of Florida, Geneva County, their tornado watch will expire at 9 o'clock as well. Now, the flash flood warning that was issued later on is due to expire this evening at 6:45 because of the tremendous amount of rain and wind that we've had. In the meantime, there's a severe thunderstorm warning for most of our Georgia listening area. Those listening to WBBK out of Blakely, they're under severe thunderstorm warning until 4:45 this evening. A lot of interesting storms, and I hate to put it that way, but that's all the best I can use to describe it. A lot of interesting storms moving towards Bainbridge right now. Donaldsonville is in a bit of a lull, but they've got a storm coming their way. As a matter of fact, the storm that triggered the tornado in the Mariana Chipley area is going to be affecting Donaldsonville before you know it. Blakely, who is where our tower is, for WBBK. They've got a storm approaching them right now. As a matter of fact, at 4:27 Central Time this afternoon, there's going to be a storm front hitting Blakely, Georgia. This storm's moving at about 47 miles an hour. No real hail, but lots of rain and lightning associated with that storm. And one of our listeners in Barber County was asking about Barber County. You're out of the woods as far as the severe weather goes, but there's still a lot of rain in that area. I'm talking about folks in Abbeville, Eufaula, Clayton. You guys are going to get a lot of rain. Okay, Fort Gaines, Georgia is getting a lot of rain right now. Somebody who is very heavily affected by last week's storms, Haleburg, still getting a lot of rain right now. Thankfully, no storms to be tracking in that area. Amy, well to the east of us and to the south of us, we're actually getting storms that we can track. Once they move to the east and cross that line, I'm really not seeing any track-worthy storms or anything posted on the All Metal Roofing and Siding weather radar. So hopefully, once this moves out, we're going to be in the clear.
Well, I hope so. I do have a storm within the tornado warned area that we have for the Panama City tornado, and we should be approaching right now at 418 Broad Branch with this storm. 419 Kennard. We got Frink at 425, Gaskins 426, Roland's Corner at 428, Clarksville 429, and Sharpstown at 4:30. So if you are in the path of this storm, you might want to be taking cover. And of course, my friends over in Weehawken, it's probably a little hairy there right now as well. We'll see if that actual tornado warning gets extended as it continues to move east. If it does, then I would highly recommend our friends in Calhoun County and Liberty County to be prepared for those storms as they continue to move east.
Amy, somebody just texted me that power is now out in Blakely and Hilton.
Okay.
And so sorry. So hopefully some of our WBBK listeners are joining us on the stream to get this information. But the power is out in Blakely and in Hilton. And as I'm looking at the All Metal Roofing and Siding weather radar, kind of zooming in on the Blakely area. Hang on, I've lost it. All this color on the radar. I'm just not used to it. Okay. So Blakely, you're under severe thunderstorm warning until 4:45. You got about 25 more minutes for that severe thunderstorm warning and a tornado watch until 9 o'clock. Now, Haleburg has seen, Hardwicksburg has seen, Urquhart and Luke has seen tremendous amounts of rainfall all afternoon long. Now, Haleburg was impacted by the severe weather from last weekend, and so the ground and the trees are all soft, and so please do not get out on the roads. Just because the storms are continuing to move east doesn't mean it's not dangerous outside, especially with all the rainfall that we've had and all the winds that we've had. We don't want to come up on any power lines or any downed trees. We certainly don't want to cross any bridges that are suspect to flooding because of all the water that has fallen out of the sky over the past 24 hours, Amy.
For sure. And someone mentioned to make sure that we remember that the Georgia listeners, of course, are an hour different. So we've pretty much been covering that all day, letting our Georgia listeners know that as well.
Just go ahead and know if we say a time, we're probably saying Central Time unless we say otherwise.
Right.
Just to let you know.
We do have someone asking if you are out driving to please turn on your lights. It is not optional. If you have to have your windshield wipers on, you are required by law to have your lights on as well. So please, make sure that hopefully you're not out driving, but if you're going home from work or wherever it may be that you are traveling to, please make sure that you do have on your lights. It has been a very active, almost 12 hours for us that we've been covering this severe weather today. Actually not logging off or not coming off air at all for you guys. Hoping that the majority of this severe stuff is making its way out of here. I'm still keeping a watch on the Panama City tornado warned area to see if we're going to have an extension of that. That was an actual tornado spotted by ground spotters for the National Weather Service. So we'll see if they continue to see that storm and get an update from the National Weather Service on that here shortly. Dave, I, I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not seeing a ton of severe storms. I'm still curious as to what might have prompted the extension of the actual tornado watch for us until, is it 9 p.m. tonight?
Until 9 p.m. tonight. But Amy, I feel like they're going to drop that soon because the storms are moving at a fairly rapid pace. Now, here's the thing. Behind us, still a lot of rain. To the north and west of us, they're bracing for a line of storms that will not affect us. I'm talking about Birmingham, Montgomery. They're popping up with all kinds of severe weather watches well to the north and west of us. But here to the south, we are going to be under that tornado watch. I predict, Amy, that they will drop it long before 9 o'clock. I hope so, because I'm ready. I'm ready for it to be over. Just to be honest with you, I'm ready for it to be done. But our friends in Georgia who can no longer hear us actually on WBBK, the power is out in Blakely. They're going to be experiencing these storms well into the afternoon and into the evening. And I think that's why Tallahassee kind of blanketed everybody with that tornado watch until 9 o'clock. But I can see things dropping off as the afternoon progresses. Right now, the tornado watch, I'll go ahead and break it down to you. All the counties affected by the tornado watch in Florida, in the Big Bend area, we're talking Franklin, Leon, Wakulla, Gadsden, Liberty, Jefferson, and Madison. In the panhandle of Florida, Gulf County. In Georgia, the new watch includes 6 counties: Brooks, Lowndes, Thomas. In Southwest Georgia, Decatur, Grady, and in Seminole. So those are your Florida and Georgia counties affected by this tornado watch that's going to be in effect until 9 o'clock. That leads me to believe that the Alabama watches and warnings are going to drop off just a hair earlier. However, I want to remind folks that there is a flash flood warning in effect. Let me break this one down for you. A flash flood warning from the National Weather Service in Tallahassee in effect until 6:45 Central Daylight Time for southeastern Dale County, eastern Geneva County, Houston County, northern Jackson County, northeastern Holmes County, southwestern Early County, and northwestern Seminole County. Now, that is a flash flood warning. There has been a flash flood watch on most, or rather a flood warning on most of the rivers in our area. So you can count on that not expiring. Let me just go ahead and give you an idea. I got to pull some of these watches down. Excuse me, so that you'll know, about the flash. I haven't had anything to eat since about 10 o'clock this morning, and now I've got the hiccups. So this flash flood watch is, let me catch my breath here. I just got attacked by the I haven't eaten anything hiccups. Amy, why don't you take it for a second?
Dave, where were you at? What were you talking about? Because I was texting at the same time. I'm telling y'all, about it is a lot.
It really is. I was really talking about the flash flood warning that's in effect until 6:45, and I was trying to find the Alabama counties that were affected by this. Here's the impact. When we're talking about flash flooding, Amy, it's going to flood small creeks and streams, urban areas, highways. We're talking about standing water over the roads, or some of these, what we call culverts, getting overflown with water. And that means if you try to drive, you are going to do what's called hydroplaning. And that means you're going to have a wreck. Now, Becca, you need to hush.
They typically say that anything over 45 miles per hour is where you lose the ability to control your vehicle. Of course, you could be going slower than that, lose control. But hydroplaning becomes a real possibility at anything over 45 miles per hour. And if it's a lot of standing water, it could be less than that. So if you're having to travel to get home, that's understandable. If you're out and about and you're just sightseeing because you want to look and see what some of the damage might be, look, it's
plenty of sunshine tomorrow. Your forecast calling for sunshine tomorrow. Plenty of time to get out and look after all this is moving on through here. I don't know why, Amy, it seems to be stalling out right now. This particular line of storms is just not moving like it was. Yeah,
we've talked about this all day long since we've been at this at 6 o'clock this morning. How the storms would enter pretty much in. We'd start covering at Escambia County, and they would just be hauling, and then we would start to see them as they would come through and pass through the Wiregrass area, Coffeedale, Geneva, Houston counties. And they would start to approach the Georgia line, where they would actually stall and then reorganize, which was what was bringing in a lot of the severe thunderstorm warnings and even some of the tornado warnings that we were getting for our listeners over in Georgia earlier this morning. So it's
And
been
Georgia's
crazy.
certainly not out of the weeds. And I hate it that our sister station has lost power over there. So maybe some of our Georgia listeners are joining us on the stream.
We
Lot
can
of
talk about
activity
some of this.
still going on. There's a storm cell M7, Amy, in the Bainbridge area. As a matter of fact, it is moving at about 83. When it spikes, it's having gusts of 83. Half-inch sized hail, definitely a possibility. Here at 4:28 Central Time, it's going to be in Bainbridge at 4:43. Okay, then in Lynn at 4:34, these are all central times here. Then in Pawnee by 4:46 this afternoon. That is a pretty crazy storm that can have gusts of 83 miles an hour, and that's what these has been like all day long. Amy, if we move a little bit west around the Malone area, the Greenwood area, why don't you tell us about E6?
We've got a storm cell moving at about 74 miles per hour. So nothing slowing that one down. 80% probability of half-inch hail with E6. And as far as the actual location, it should be passing through right now Neal's Landing, to be exact. Then we're going to be looking at Steam Mill at 429, Little Hope at 433, Green Acres Subdivision 434, Layla 434. We got Town and Country Estates right behind that, and then Donaldsonville at 435. So if you are in the path of these storms, you should be taking cover as well, because it is still intense for some of our Georgia viewers if you're on Facebook Live with us.
Amy, it's interesting to note that storm cell E6 is the only storm cell that our radar is currently tracking on the edge of this storm, which gives me comfort in knowing that once these storms have moved through our area, there's really just some light rainfall, maybe a little bit of thunder and lightning, but I'm not even thinking about that so much. Want to remind everybody, go ahead.
Go ahead. You want to remind
I was going to remind everybody we're under a tornado watch officially until 9 o'clock. Currently, a severe thunderstorm warning. It will not expire until about 4:45, so about 15 more minutes on that particular severe thunderstorm warning. It's affecting eastern Houston County, Jackson County, Gulf County, Bay County, Calhoun County. This thing is huge. Western Gadsden County, Liberty County, Decatur County, Miller County, Baker County, Early County, and Seminole County, and moving steadily eastward. Amy, the folks, our friends in Georgia, are not going to be out of this thing for quite some time today.
Okay. I want to make mention of the Panama City tornado warning that we had effect did drop off. Right now, we do still have that area in a severe thunderstorm warning, but one particular cell that I'm watching that's moving through Bay County and will be going into Calhoun County is moving about 60 miles per hour with 100% chance of hail, and some of that hail being 3/4 of an inch in size and diameter. It's going to be moving through right now the Fountain area. So if you're in Fountain, you're already feeling the effects of this storm. Should be moving through Compass Lake in about 7 minutes. And those folks got hit terribly hard in the Compass Lake area during the hurricane that moved through the last one. Did major damage to the Compass Lake area. Willis at 445, Alpha 448, Cox at 449, Sink Creek right behind it, and then Alliance at 450. So this is probably one of the most intense areas of this line of thunderstorms that's moving through. So y'all be weather aware down in those areas if you are any of those towns that I just mentioned.
Right. That severe thunderstorm warning set to expire in about 14 minutes, as Amy was talking about. Amy, I'm really only able to track a handful of storms, and they are moving east, and that is great comfort to me. I wanted to let the folks a little closer to home here, a little closer to Dothan and the Wiregrass area. I want to let them know, especially Ozark, Enterprise, New Brockton, Enterprise, Daleville, Newton and Clayhatchee, Newville, Headland, Abbeville. You guys are, for all intents and purposes, in the clear. What you're going to be getting over the next couple of hours is some rain. Haleville, you've been officially dropped from the tornado watch area as well. Fort Gaines, Eufaula, Clayton, you guys are all in the clear, but watch out for that standing water on the road. Watch out for those low pass culverts that might be holding a lot of water, especially some roadways may have been eaten out right by the edge of the road due to the heavy rainfall that we have had. And that's why I want to mention once again this flash flood warning in effect until 6:45. If I was to draw a box for you to look at on the radio, squint hard at your speakers. This box starts at Daleville, goes through Columbia and just south of Blakely. Then the box goes south near Donaldsonville, crosses back to the west through Bonifay area into Black and Hartford. So if you can imagine that box, that's what's under our flash flood warning. And what that means, according to the National Weather Service, is that some locations are going to be experiencing flooding. Small creeks and streams, urban areas that have lots of roadways are going to have standing water. I mean, I'm talking 8-inch puddles of water that can stretch for 100 yards or more. Okay. Underpasses as well. Other drainage areas like culverts and low-lying areas are going to be full of water right now. Okay. I'm talking to you, Ozark, a very hilly area right there. Lots of standing water in Ozark. So be extra careful. If you run across some standing water, turn around. Do not attempt to drive your vehicle through what you may think is a puddle, but could actually turn out to be a torrent of water.
What's the rule, Dave? Turn around. Don't drown.
Turn around, don't drown. That's right.
Thing. So it has definitely been a interesting day. Have we lost our Facebook? Are our Facebook folks still with us?
Yes. Len, I don't know who Len is on the YouTube, has been giving us updates, and I can't even keep up with Len because he's monitoring the National Weather Service in Kansas, in Birmingham.
Not sure who that is. We're checking into that. Right now,
and that's okay. You know, any help in a storm like this is certainly appreciated. I haven't tried to stop Len from sharing that information, but we're here to tell you on the air that right now we're under a tornado watch until 9 o'clock. We're under a flash flood warning until 6:45, and we've got a severe thunderstorm warning set to expire in about 10 minutes, covering a great portion of our listening area. And if anything, I believe that will probably get pushed more to the east, Amy, by the time that they drop that. Yes, Beck, I did see where you said your husband saw a tornado, and don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Don't go out and look at stuff like that. Guys, when Amy and I go to go what we call bell to bell on these storms where we don't stop talking about the weather, that is not the time. Yeah, that is not the time to get out and be looking around. That is the time to just turn your radio up, call your friends, let them know if they're not listening, let them know what we've told you and share that information.
Right, for sure. There's a lot of you that have been on with us. We have officially crossed moving into the almost 11 hours on air today, sitting right where we are and covering severe weather. We will mention that there won't be a Wiregrass Strong for obvious reasons today, because we are not Wiregrass Strong right now.
We're Wiregrass wore out as well.
If y'all were on with us at 6 o'clock this morning, you know that I actually went to bed at 2:30 this morning, and I was up at 4:30 with my new grandbaby. So I had 2 hours of sleep.
You are such a Mimi girl.
And then covering 11 hours of storm coverage. I'm done. I don't even know at this point if I'll be able to go to sleep.
I'm sure it won't take but a second. I want to update this Y6 storm cell around the Blakely area for our folks in Georgia. This storm is moving at about 54 miles an hour, still dropping half-inch size hail. Here at 4:36 this afternoon, it will be in Parksville at 4:38. Terman by 4:39. Jones Spur right after that at 4:43. Then Williamsburg at 4:46. Leary at 4:52 this afternoon. E6, one of these storm fronts that we've been following, Amy, all along, still moving at about 60 miles an hour, producing half-inch sized hail here at 4:37. It is just now entering the Leela area, heading towards Town and Country Estates. Will be in Donaldsonville by 4:41 this afternoon. And those are the storms closest to our broadcast area. There's nothing behind those storms. I just want to let everybody know that there are no storms to be tracking behind the two cells that I was just talking about.
Well, listen.
Oh, Ricky, you're wonderful.
Yeah, great. It's wonderful, wonderful. Y'all, thank you so much for being on with us. Oh, really?
I got a friend in
Really?
Ricky. I got a friend in Ricky. You were the one
Really,
showing off
Ricky?
your toast this morning.
Hey, I gotta ask. Hold on.
Okay, let me go ahead and tell you what. We're still under a tornado watch until 9 o'clock this evening. For our listening area, we have a flash flood warning in effect until 6:45. Please do not get out on the roads because you really can die. Most
You really
flooding
can
deaths-
die.
Well, yeah, most flooding deaths occur in the automobile, and that's what I'm saying. Don't get out there and drive around and start looking around. Just wait until tomorrow, okay?
Yeah, for sure.
Please just wait until tomorrow. It's going to be getting dark soon anyway. There's not going to be a whole lot to look at. Portions of the Wiregrass are without power. I know that my house has no power right now, and I'm sure that's happening all across the Wiregrass. So if you get out on the roads and you start interfering with EMS, I'm going to get upset because I won't get supper tonight.
I'm sitting here looking at my husband right now who has napped for 2 hours. Just come and glanced out the window. Don't y'all think he should cook me dinner tonight?
Absolutely.
I think so, right? I deserve that. If I even make it to dinner.
Let me say good evening to our friends, good afternoon, rather, to our friends listening right now on WESP and WJRL. I'm going to return you guys to normally scheduled programming.
Thank y'all for hanging with us.
Yes, thank you for listening, and hopefully we won't have to break into your great music on those, our sister stations, WESP and WJRL. God bless you. Thanks for being with us this afternoon. Right now, we are broadcasting on ECB B1053. It's the home of Pollard and Dave in the morning, although it's been Pollard and Day all day. Dave all dang day long. And hopefully we're going to get out of this pretty soon. I see these watches and warnings to the west of us not popping back up. I do see some very mild rain activity in the west. So I want to say that we're getting better as the afternoon wears on. This severe
I'm
thunderstorm
okay with
warning.
the rain, Dave.
Yeah.
I'm over the severe weather.
Well,
for
the
today.
severe thunderstorm warning is about to drop. We got about 5 minutes left in that severe thunderstorm warning that was covering a large portion of the Florida and Georgia listening area or viewing area, if you will, if you're watching the stream on Facebook and on YouTube. What I'm concerned about right now around our area is the flash flood warning that's going to be in effect until 6:45, and I'm really concerned about people getting on the roads trying to go take a looky-loo around at any of the damage that's been going on, and I just don't want people to do that right now because the rain's not gone yet. Amy, just because the storms are moving out doesn't mean that the rain isn't sticking around behind that storm. Did I lose you? What happened? You muted yourself, ding-a-ling.
I muted because I was checking on my grandbaby. I was like, it's been 12 hours since I put my hands on him.
How is His Highness doing?
He's wonderful.
His
He's
lordship.
asleep. Like, I think he sleeps 22.5 hours a day right now.
Lucky guy.
What'll happen is I'll have night duty tonight. And what'll happen is he'll be wide awake right now, or he'll be sound asleep. He's been sleeping all day long. And then when I get him tonight, he's going to be wide awake.
That's the way it works out, isn't it? Hey,
Yeah,
Amy, we need to pay some bills here. It's been a while since we have, and I think it's only
I want to
fair that
mention
we
something.
get to that. Go ahead.
Becca says, we love Pollard and Dave. Thank you so much for the coverage.
Oh,
When this is over, take a nap while your husband cooks. Oh, Definitely. We definitely both deserve a nap today. For
Uh-huh.
sure.
For sure. It is Pollard and Dave in the morning, in the afternoon. Let's take a little break. Amy, I want to take a bite of this burger Ricky brought me, okay?
Gotcha. I got that, Warrior Girl.
My ears hurt from the dang headphones.
I know. We still didn't figure out what my echo was.
I ain't even studying that right now.
Me either. Let's see.
Let's try to throw in some music real quick so that I ain't got to talk on the radios for a minute.
Oh, yeah.
First song I grabbed, Old Town Road. I just grabbed a song and threw it in.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my
You just
goodness.
grabbed anything.
I did. Well, that's a goodish song. Ooh, before I even eat, I got to go potty.
Okay.
So entertain the peoples.
We shouldn't have too much longer, actually.
No, I don't
I'm
think
getting
so.
about ready to sign off. I am done. Let me see.
right. A fine selection of tunes while I munch out and
Dave,
got to go to the water closet. What?
while you're eating, I'm going to go ahead and sign off unless we think there's anything else severe.
Okay.
I don't see anything.
They're dropping. As a matter of fact, I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm just now checking. They're already starting to drop a lot of the watches and the warnings. We've got about 2 minutes left on the severe thunderstorm warning. As a matter of fact, Amy, my radar just tweaked out.
Yeah, mine did too.
Okay, so let me switch to another radar real quick, and let's just see. I'm going to change to the Florida radar site around Eglin Air Force Base, see if they're still up and see what they got shows. Oh, excuse me.
I'm going to close mine out.
Okay. The flash flood warning is the only thing that's showing as far as, warnings go. Watches. Let's give it a second here. Severe thunderstorm watch looks like it's been dropped. The tornado watch is still in effect. So right now we've got a tornado watch until 9 o'clock. We got a flash flood warning until 6:45. And they have not extended that severe thunderstorm warning. So maybe, just maybe, this storm is spent. Amy, I think that would be a great thing, especially for our friends in Georgia and my friends in the studio and radio stations all around the Southeast. Bow war slap out.
Thank you, Tanya. Or Tanya. She said y'all have done an awesome job. Thank y'all so much for hanging with us all day long. It's been interesting, nonstop, and definitely y'all are the reason we do what we do, for sure. We try to do our best we can. It's time
I'm going to turn the stream off, guys. If you'll turn on notifications on your Facebook and on your YouTube, if we got to come back in, you'll be notified through those things right there. In the meantime, have a great rest of your evening. We'll see you first thing tomorrow morning. Amy, say what you got to say so I can hit the button.
Love y'all. God bless you. See you tomorrow.